Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
Welcome. This is Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2DRadio.com. Live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW Atlantic City. We're off exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com. Every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Renone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovich. Mike, go ahead, Mike. Say your last name again so people don't butcher shit.
Some people. My name is Mike Galetta. I am one half of the amazing wonder of the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here.
Well, that's debatable. Rob Hovey on the ones and twos. This is Tom, Mike, AM in the PM. We got a lot of things to talk about tonight. World Series predictions later on in the show. Eagles, Redskins preview. We'll get in a little bit of that later as well. But the main topic at hand tonight is 10-9-8, your 76ers, and our poll question, which is brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. How would a Sixers regular season end? 1 or 2 seed? 3 to 5 seed? 6 to 8 seed? No playoffs. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. We'll also get into how much Joel Embiid will play, how many games will play down the road here. You know, who will be a bigger impact? Fultz, Simmons. Dive into all that. Your questions as well. Hit us, baby. Hit us with tons of questions. We're going to answer them all, but right into the poll question. Michael, where are the Sixers end regular season-wise? A 1-2 seed, 3 to 5 seed, 6 to 8 seed, no playoffs at all.
I have them finishing at 50 and 32. And it's not going to be a consistent 50 and 32. I'm looking at 50 and 32. Early part of the season will be kind of win-loss, but I think once this team hits their stride, they're going to be unstoppable. And I'm looking 50-32, probably about a 4 seed.
Probably about a 4 seed. Mr. Milwakovic, who is a flat-out problem. Go ahead, sir.
I am a problem.
You are a problem. You're the problem.
I've always been in that 40 to 45 range. I think that's 12 to 15 wins off of last year. I think it's a very good jump. To put a number, so I'm not giving a range, I'll go 43 wins. And I think they're a 7-8 seed. That's where I see them at the end.
7-8 seed. Okay, Mike?
I'm kind of in agreement with Greg. I said before the season, I said between 38 and 42. You got to understand, this team, on paper they're good, but you got 2 guys on the team that have never played NBA ball before. So it's going to be a big mystery if they're going to play or not. I mean, and plus you got the Embiid factor too. How many games is he going to play? Is he going to play 30 games or is he going to play the whole season? Is he going to have restricted minutes? Is he not going to have restricted minutes? They're going to take the chains off him. How is J.J. Redick going to play? Is he going to play up to the money? He's a lot of question marks for this team. I think to say 50 wins is, I mean, Boston's going to win 50 wins. They're not comparable to Boston right now. Even with the loss of Hayward, I don't think they're comparable to Boston.
Oh, I think they're completely comparable to Boston because when I'm looking at them right now tonight, and I'm looking at them against a potential 3 seed at home, their home opener, and they're playing right with them. So I got to go with my eyes tell me tonight. When my eyes tell me tonight, Ben Simmons can flat out play the game of basketball. I don't need to see much more of him. I don't need a pedigree of NBA games to see if this kid can play. Now, how is he going to hold up 82? Well, that's debatable, But I think he's been trained enough. He's been seasoned enough, right? Enough working out to get his body ready for an 82-game schedule. So I'm not worried about that. Markelle Fultz, what has he shown me tonight off the bench? He showed me he can flat out score the basketball, something we knew coming in, right? And that's with a little bit of a shoulder issue as well. JoJo playing about 22 tonight, minutes-wise. I think that's going to continue to go up as the season moves along here, and we see what kind of factor he is. We see it. We see how he transcends this whole city, this whole organization, and this whole team. If he didn't play any minutes tonight, this team's getting smoked. And maybe not smoked, but they're not as in the game as they are now because that's just the vibe he gives off to this whole organization. You got to figure out how Redick fits in, but guess what? He's a pro. He's a pro's pro. He knows his role. Bayless looked good tonight in his role. So I'm excited, and I'm not going to go crazy 1 or 2 seed here, but I think they can easily fall in to that 3 to 5 seed. I think that's right where they fit in. If you want to go low on a 5, fine, but I think they can be an easily a 5 seed and maybe even as high as a 3, and that just depends who are the Washington Wizards and who are the Toronto Raptors.
Right,
and when we think we know who 1 or 2 is, because they lost Hayward to your point, and you're right. They're still a real good basketball. Jaylen Brown can flat out play.
And they have Crowder, and they have some other guys.
Yeah, and my reasoning for going the 4 seed is kind of along those same lines. Is that I'm not looking just at the Sixers, but I'm also looking at every other team in the East and saying, okay, what do they have that's going to compete? I mean, I think it's still a given that the Cavs are the cream of the crop.
Yeah, he's out of shape, and the guy put on 40 pounds.
Yeah.
The guy's a moose knuck, LeBron James. But go ahead.
But I mean, yeah. So I mean, the Cavs are still the cream of the crop, and then Boston. I think they're still going to be there, but are they the clear-cut number 2 now? No, probably not. And then I think the rest of the conference, quite honestly, is up for grabs, and I don't necessarily see anybody else in the conference that is markedly better than the Sixers. I mean, they're playing, basically bucket for bucket with Washington right now, and
who's essentially that 3 seed,
exactly.
right? I mean,
if not the 2 seed now with Hayward gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I still think they end up in that 3.
Agreed.
So I mean, you can go 2 or 3, switch them out. But I put them right in that 4 spot. I think that's who they are, or 4 or 5. Now, a lot's going to depend on health, but I'm going things say status quo. Right, guys start getting more minutes. Markelle starts playing more minutes. JoJo starts playing more minutes. This seems dangerous. And in Eastern Conference, now if they're in the West, we're talking a different story now. Right. Now we're talking maybe an 8 if you're lucky and you're battling for that last spot. But in the Eastern Conference, they're quickly becoming a power. And I think as they play more and more together, that chemistry is going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And I think the sky's the limit for this basketball team, even though they're young. And I mean sky's the limit, not Broad Street. I mean sky's the limit, getting to a playoff round, winning a series, and building. Because all I want from this young basketball team is just to get in the dance.
Yep.
Feel how the dance feels, feel how them puppies feel on the court in that kind of environment, and build off of that. That's all I'm looking for this year. And it's just a playoff berth. Win or lose that series doesn't really matter to me. It's just a taste. And this city's begging for it. This is the first time I've been this excited about Sixers basketball. You got to go back to AI, man. I mean, you got to go really far back in the day for this excitement. That now was excited every year, of course. But they're dangerous, man. We're not even talking about Dario in this whole conversation, who's the best player in the NBA nobody talks about. He really is. Yeah. He does everything. They're just deep. They're deeper than they ever were in this stretch, right? They have actually legitimate NBA players coming off their bench. I mean, it feels good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm going to puff a little bit. Maybe I'm going to be overexcited, Mike. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But if you want to talk about Ben for a second, I mean, just so far tonight.
Got to read off all the questions. I'll get to them in a minute.
24 minutes so far. 14 points, 3 assists, 8 boards, 50% from the field, a steal and a block, 2 of 2 from the line, only 1 turnover, and only 1 foul.
And they're up right now by 1, too. So, I mean, they're going.
And he's a +8. So,
well,
Ben's
your
a
point,
+8 tonight.
Yeah, Ben's a
to your point,
+8.
Mike, you talked about teams. I mean, what do you think about Toronto Raptors or even the Milwaukee Bucks? I think the Bucks are going to be a surprise moving up the charts this year, believe it or not.
They're good teams, but
yeah.
I'm not scared of them.
No, I wouldn't be scared of them, but I think they're going to be in that 4 or 5 range right there.
And they should be. Bucks, right. You're right, Mike. They should definitely be in that range. Reading off some of the comments. David Rosca. What's up, Dave? What's up, boys? Rams 5-2 this Sunday in London. That's right.
Him and his Rams.
Ralph Delvecchio, I guess I'll just skip this segment, LOL. Yes, you will. All right, because you got a lot of LeVar in your mouth. Just skip away. We'll get to you on Eagles Talk when we're back to being a family again. Jeremy,
when he's invited back to the big boy table.
Yeah, Jeremy Clow. Greg, the problem, Milwaukee. Spot on. What up, Pop?
What's up, Jer?
Pop Martinez. 7th seed agreed. It all falls on Embiid. And he's also said, what's up, fellas? What up, Pop?
Pop.
And he said, Okafor hasn't touched the floor tonight. Is this a year we try to move him? I don't understand how he hasn't touched the floor tonight. I'm in amazement. And listen, the guy put in a ton of work in the offseason. To not touch the floor is a flat-out disgrace. Okay, and I don't know who I'm going to blame it on, but I'm not going to go to Brett Brown. I'm going up the goddamn chart because Joshua Harris is getting on my last nerve. He ruined the New Jersey Devils, which thank you, okay, and Scott O'Neal. They ruined that organization, and now we're putting our trust in these two guys?
Yeah.
They're crumbs. They're flat-out crumbs. They're money-hungry crumbs. And they showed you last year the shit they did with Embiid, the kind of guys these are. So I'm going up the ladder here. I'm going right to Colangelo. This guy should be on the court.
Well, the only thing
I'm not saying tons of minutes, but the fact that he hasn't seen 10 minutes tonight is a flat-out joke.
And the only thing I can go off of by the way the game was flowing is a matchup issue.
Yeah, it is a matchup issue.
That's the only thing I can see, but I agree with you. He should at least see the floor a little bit. But it's funny, we talk about the worldwide talked about the same question going into the start of this game.
Right.
And Beadle asked Paul Pierce, Jalen Rose, and Chauncey if the Sixers don't make the playoffs, is the process a failure? And so the three of them kind of decided and kind of thought that there was 7 teams locked into the East and there's only 1 spot available.
And the Sixers weren't one of the 7 locked in.
And the Sixers were not one of the 7.
Because they're haters,
now,
man.
Now,
No,
again,
'cause
agenda. I'm saying
it's
agenda. It's the bigger version. But what they said
Well,
though,
hold on a
that's
second.
Good luck,
But
Ben.
back up on that, though, because they did say if the minutes restriction wasn't there, it's a completely different conversation.
agreed. And there's 3 guys that have played this league, and even Paul said they're like he's got 2 guys that have never played in the NBA, and he got JoJo who only played 30 games. Like until these guys play and get some season, then they're still all rookies.
No, listen,
and that's going to translate in when you get into dog days. There's going to be some bumps in that road. And that's kind of why I stuck to that 43.
And they're going to play
40
back-to-back nights, and they're going to travel, and it's the NBA. I mean, this isn't college basketball anymore. It's the NBA. There's a transition and a curve for it.
There is and there isn't, though, because if you're that talented, you get over the curve, in my opinion. If these guys, these number 1 picks and these high-value picks that we have acquired over the years here, they're high value, they're high picks for a reason. So the curve shouldn't be as high for a number 1 pick as it should be for a guy in the 15 to 20s. So I'm not going to make excuses for this team and say anything. But what I will say Jalen Rose and them guys is they're flat out wrong because I disagree with the minute restrictions completely. But just him being on the court for 15 minutes changes his whole team. It does. You can see it. You saw it last year, even when he was on restrictions. The difference is just his vibe on the court, what it did for this whole organization and his whole team. So they are biased because they hate the tank and they don't like the way we've got here. Right. And because they're basketball purists and they don't understand that the league has set you up for this. This is what the league did to every team in the league. Like, you want to get better, you're not going to get better free agency-wise because teams can max out their own guys and get their own guys more money. And that's the way the league's set up. So how do you get better? Well, you get better like the Timberwolves did. You get better like the Sixers did. Nobody talks about what Minnesota did. I mean, Minnesota tanked out too. But it's all because
they tried.
Yeah,
they tried though.
Because Hickey came out and was honest about it. Yep. Nobody liked it from Jump Street.
Right.
And none of us liked it, nor should we have liked it. But if you saw a big picture, you understood why this was happening, and you waited for this day. So is my excitement saying a 3 to 5 seed maybe a little homerish? Sure, I'll say that. But when you waited this long to have an NBA-ready team, you can jump the gun a little bit.
And Tom, if it's homerish, I'm right there with you. So.
Yeah, well, good to have you. Good to have you.
Guys. No, Tom, we talked about this before about the Embiid.
Yeah, hold on. Wesley Wheaton, get the hell off our page. Want to talk facts because you come step in the studio and I'll show you a little something. All right? Don't come on this goddamn platform running your mouth. I don't know who you are, but come stop in that you want something to say to me. All right? I'm 6'2", 240, 245. That's middle linebacker measurables. Come say hello then. Jerk off. Go ahead. Sorry, Mike. I see this guy trying to troll. I'm on attack.
A little fired up's good. The whole Embiid thing, I think, is gonna go on all year because, like you said, the restrictions in the minutes. I mean, this guy's ready to go. He was cleared. I'm the kind of guy to say, get him on the floor, see what you have. You've paid him money now. That's out of the way. So let's see what he can say. If this goes on and by game 10 or 11, we're still talking minutes restrictions, how much of the process is really the process and how much of the Sixers have been feeding you? If they're going to baby this guy all year long, let him play. I'm not saying throw him to the Wolves, but let him play.
Well, what if the whole minutes restrictions, honestly, is just like a big ruse? Seriously. Like, what if the minutes restrictions is Brett planting a seed in the opponent's head going, we're only going to play this guy 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you don't do that in basketball. You do it in football. You don't do that in basketball.
Hey.
Do you think the Wizards tonight said, he's only playing 10 minutes? All right, we got to play 10 minutes to the floor for him? No, I don't think it's like that in basketball. In football, you can say that.
I think it's a game-by-game situation, and it's a body situation. It's the medical staff saying, how the body holds up game to game, back-to-backs, different situations like that. Let me read all some of these comments before they become too much. Pop Martinez saying, Okafor hasn't touched the floor tonight. We talked about that. And Daniel Bakley, Simmons needs to trust his jumper. And that'll come over time. I mean, that's something we all know.
It'll take time, right?
Continue to work on.
Not a jumper, but yes.
Otherwise, he's saying, liking the three-point shooting of the team and the energy. And the energy all starts with JoJo. Pop, agree, Daniel. He's got to work on it. It will improve with time.
Yep.
Zach Boyle, when the Bucks without Parker can't reach their ceiling, just not deep enough. And I do
agree with that.
I do agree with that. Now, the Greek Freak's a freak and a problem.
Right.
But
again,
they're
they'll
not
get better.
as deep.
They'll get better.
They will, and they'll go as he goes. They really will.
Right.
Rob Pove, 3 to 5 seed. Ryan Brodo, what's up, guys? It's such a great time of the year as sports fans. Eagles are great. Sixers are back, and we still got MLB playoffs going. # winning. Couldn't agree more. And you got the Flyers playing great hockey.
This is great. Elijah Forrest, just so you know, I subbed. I guess that means joined from the last live stream that you guys made because I could tell you guys put a lot of time and effort into this. You guys deserve at least 800,000 subs. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
it.
Daniel Baker, Minnesota took the Rockets route with getting a big name shooter, but they did that after
they got Towns,
Right.
after they got Wiggins.
You know, that was our year.
That was a
for
process
Wiggins.
too. Yeah.
Winless for Wiggins was for us. You know what I mean? So.
So just real quick,
just
to give everybody an idea what we're looking at here, we got 104-100 Wizards. Still plenty of time left. 6:24 left in the fourth. We have it on. We're giving live reactions. We're reading the comments. It's all Sixers basically until this game is over, and then it might be some more Sixers after that.
It might be some more. Michael DeAndrea, and in this corner, Tommy, 2 guns. Probably to the fire to the jerk off trying to troll us. Like don't play inappropriate things on our.
There's
feed.
no trolling here now.
You know what I mean? Those don't have a little class.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
talking 10-9-8. There's no need for negativity.
Right.
Oh, okay, dude. Will you come stop in? I keep telling you, bro. We ain't gonna read none of your comments. You're gonna get your ass blocked. So how's that feel?
So getting back to Greg's point, we both kind of on the same page with they're winning about 40 games this year.
Yeah.
And if going to your point, Mike, you said they're going to win 50 games. That's a half jump from last year. I mean, that's enormous for a team to do that. If they step forward 10 to 12, even 13 games, that's great for this team.
Okay, but here's my question. So what did they win last year? They won, 32?
28.
Yeah,
Okay,
28.
so they won 38. Joel Embiid played 31 games last year, and they won 38.
28.
28. they
Okay,
won.
so 28.
Yeah.
So he played 31. They won 28.
Right.
That's a ridiculous winning percentage. Okay.
It would have been 51, like as healthy.
Right.
Like, so if you
Right.
spanned it out
Right,
over
so what-
time, it
right,
would
so
have
what
been
I'm
Again,
saying-
that's the big question mark.
Okay, right. But what
Correct.
I'm saying is that if he's, we're talking early predictions, bold day one, first game of the season predictions. If he plays 65, do I think they could win 50? Yeah, I absolutely think they could win 50. If they went 28 for 31, or they won 28 last year and he only played 31.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that they won a few games that he didn't play, but you look at their record when he was on the floor. It's ridiculous.
I think we're on the same page. I just have a hard time thinking the 50 is going to work because even though you think Embiid's going to play the whole year, with his track record, it's hard for me to say that. Because if he plays 40 and then bows out, well, then where are you at now? You're at probably where we said they were going to be.
Okay, but
50's a stretch. 50's a hell of a year.
Well, I understand that, and I
with 2 guys that never played before.
and I
in the
did
NBA.
say it was a bold prediction. But are you going to sit here and tell me that this team is not markedly better than the one that was there last year?
Well, you add this thing about what
No,
you
they,
add.
no, they are.
Yeah.
Think about what
Well,
you
they
had.
are because
Yeah,
Fultz
they didn't
and
have
Simmons.
much last year. Right.
You had Fultz, Simmons, and Reddick.
Right.
That should easily, you should write in 20. You should be able to write in 20.
Right.
And that puts you right
And
around
that puts
48.
you 48.
And I'm right with you that it could be 50. I'll go for 48. I'll say a 20-win difference. It should be.
Do
it should easily
do
be
I think it's a
20-win
bold
difference.
prediction? Yeah, I absolutely think it's a bold prediction. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that
That's what
it's
we're here
a shoo-in
for.
for 50.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
I'm not being aggressive.
But I don't think it's as bold as you're making it out to be, though.
Oh
Mike.
no, I don't think it's like.
really,
I don't think it's ridiculous.
You're only adding 22 wins to a team that added that much, and you figure adding Embiid too, right, boys? We're not. That's a factor in it too. Like Mike, you're right. It all depends on how he goes. But the good thing about this team now is you can get away with him missing a game on a back-to-back because you do have talent, depending on who that back-to-back's against. Now, if there's some West teams that will probably beat you up a little bit, sure. And they're going to beat up a lot of people.
Well, the Western Conference is a better conference.
But if they can handle the East, and I just like the way they played tonight. Win or lose tonight, I like the battle.
And it's the first game.
Yeah.
It's the first game.
But here we have a comment on the YouTube right now that I think illustrates exactly how this is going to play out for a little while. So TTP Ballin chimes in and he goes,
"What up, TTP?
It's a 4-point game. Amir Johnson fouled out, and in big capital letters, Embiid is out of minutes." So I just responded back and I'm like, "Ja time? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?"
Well, it's 104-102 right now with 6 to go in the fourth, and this is where I think he's coming back in right now. Oh, how are you? That's a big time dunk. He's coming back right in.
Who? Joel?
Joel's coming in, checking in right now. Daniel.
Well, and that's what kind of
what up, Jamie? Jamie checking in, just checking in, fellas. What up,
Jamie?
Frank, he has him a 6 to 8 seed. Jason Crisola, when you guys just going to block the crumbs? Simple solution. He'll be blocked afterwards. He won't ever be on here again.
Oh, big boy. Come on, Ben. You got to throw that down.
Okay, sorry,
No, it was saying the more you hear Brett talk about it, as we mentioned before, it's all a flow thing. If it's flowing and he's only getting 18, then the next night might be 22, 24. It's all a flow thing. I don't think it's a shadow game, but I do think it is up in the air with what the true number is going to be each night.
Okay, I'll buy into that.
So that's what Brett said. He said it's a game by game. It's a feel thing. It's a lot of things. I mean, I heard people saying that he wasn't in shape, and I don't agree with that one bit. I don't think it's a shape issue.
I mean, I don't think that is the issue, but I don't think you can automatically discount it because basketball shape is a lot different than just a cardio shape because of the up and back, the quick burst,
of course,
that type of thing. So while I'm not going to completely 100% say he's out of shape, I do portionally at least agree somewhat with it.
So you weren't a big fan of his Rocky video? JoJo running the streets of Philadelphia at 1 a.m.?
So, Tom, I'll direct this question towards you. Would you rather the Sixers, and I know your answer to this, but would you rather the Sixers win 15 more games than last year, miss the playoffs, or get into the playoffs barely as an 8 seed and get bounced in the first round by a 1 seed?
I'd just rather him get in. Yeah. I just want these kids to have a taste of the dance. I think that's so much. It means so much to long term with these guys, and too, not only for the fan base, but for these guys who, some of them who've been here through this whole process. Losing's contagious, and it sticks with you, and it's hard to overcome. And when you win 28 games a year and you win 20 games a year or 15, and a lot of these guys have been through this, and the best medicine for it would just be a taste of the dance.
Yeah.
Because it just gets that stench off of this franchise.
And
it's officially off that we trusted it. We got there. Now the sky's the limit for this organization and these kids.
Yeah, and I'll take that out a step further, that if you're going to miss the playoffs, I want you to be horrible so that you get into the lottery so that you could potentially get, a number one seed.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Exactly. But that's not going to happen.
Right.
So then why not get in? You make the dance, anything can happen. And, I think it's important for these kids to get a taste. Absolutely.
I mean, if they miss the playoffs by a little bit and they push, that's great to see.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking
But,
at.
but I mean,
and even if you think, and touching on the same thing, even if you think they're truly, if we have them at 40 wins, you guys have them 48 to 50. So we're probably sitting here thinking they're a year away from true contention.
Right.
So, getting to that dance, getting to that playoffs just brings that to fruition even further that, hey, they are the 8 seed. Now they get the taste of the dance. And then now next year,
they can build on
they're going to be a real problem.
And they're young, and part of it's learning how to close on the road right now, and it's 111, 104
Well, it's
Washington,
interesting that you said that because TTP Baldwin just chimed back in and he goes, what this game is coming down to is veterans versus rookies. Simmons looks great, though. They should definitely make the playoffs.
They should. Zach Boylan, where do you guys think the Celtics land? Jaylen Brown is a star. Tatum has gained. Both guys only going to get better. I know. The Celtics are good, man.
I think 2 or 3 Celtics.
They're still in the mix.
I mean, the East isn't loaded with a lot of great teams. I mean, besides the Cavaliers, it drops off.
Is that the dude?
Yeah.
That's cute.
He's gone.
Jamie Lasher. No, the guy
Thank you, Mr. Brodo. He's gone.
Daniel Bakley. We just have to remember they are still very young, and we do.
Right.
Jason Grisola. Kyrie played 19 of Boston's first 24, and it's a back-to-back. These dudes are world-class athletes. Let them loose, and that's true. Let them loose. You scared money don't make money, and if this organization is going to continue to be scared about Joel Embiid and his health, there's never going to be that continued progress that you need.
Sure.
It never will happen.
Well, yeah. Like I spoke of, the curve is there for, Fultz and Simmons to play together on the road, back-to-back nights. All this NBA thing this is only one game, but it's going to catch up to them. You got to see if they can fight through it and get better, or is the curve going to stretch out? You're hoping they're going to get acclimated to it and get off running. That's what everybody's hoping for. But we'll see.
And what I've noticed tonight so far is really good chemistry, honestly. I thought there's been really good ball movement. Guys know where they're supposed to be on the court. Guys are moving without the basketball really well. Some things you just want to see out of a young team it's all playing together, and a lot of new pieces, and you can see that kind of ball movement and a lot of unselfish guys. From what I watched tonight, makes it very exciting. Because you shouldn't win this basketball game, but the fact that you're not getting your doors blown off shows you that this city has a basketball team back.
I'm looking for 2 things. One, if they get blown out in a game by, say, 20 or 30, they come back the next night and fight hard. Or if they struggle in a game and they're down early, are they going to come back and compete in the game? That's what you got to look for.
And I agree with that. But you know what this is telling me right now? I mean, it's 3:48 to go. They're down 5 to the team that's the presumable number 3 seed on the road with their best player, their $178 million man, on a minutes restriction.
Well, you also got to see that their first game out of the chute, they want to play, they want to show what they can do. So this is, they're playing well right now.
But I mean, it only gets better from here.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, that's what you're going to look at. That's what you're going to look at.
You have to.
Yep. I mean, the home opener is going to be crazy.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's going to be out of there. We're going to blow the doors off that place.
It's just building blocks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's little steps.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's 113, 106 right now. You just want to see him battle down the stretch. That's all you can ask for. Zach Boylan says, Brad Stevens get a bunch of guys off the playground to the playoffs. Probably could. I mean, he's a good basketball coach.
He's a good coach, yeah.
He's a good coach. I don't know how many guys are left, but it was a whole 16U combat party in the Instagram chat here earlier.
Yeah, I thought I saw something. If you want playing time, listen, you got to watch the live vid.
Well, they were all in there.
Good.
Nice.
They were chiming in.
Everybody's playing next weekend, then it looks like. We don't want to sit people in showcases here.
Mike, I think what's
We
going
got
to
any
happen.
comments in there that are worth reading off on the gram?
No, just talking about the game. They wanted to shout out. They got it. Just call the rest. That's it. Just game, nothing big.
They dropped this game on blaming Brett because he shaved the beard.
You should not have shaved
JoJo again.
He had the Popovich beard
did,
going
he
on,
looked good.
and he looked good.
Yeah,
he
he
did.
did have
He
the
looked.
pop beard
Look,
going,
I
yeah.
even started it myself in honor of Brett.
Should we all go to Pop Beard?
He comes out tonight and he's clean shaven. I'm like, what's up with that? Come on, man.
If you're just joining us, our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Where do the Sixers land after the regular season? What seed do you think they are? So we had, what we got going on here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or no playoffs.
Or no playoffs. And I think we're all in agreement that this should at least be a playoff team. I know Mike's thinks that they can miss it more than we do, but I believe us three believe that it's a playoff.
I think they just take a step forward and still miss it and still have a productive year. That's what I'll say about that.
So David Roska chimed in, hey, David, and he goes, who's going to the NBA Finals? Interesting question.
You got to say Cleveland out of the East.
I mean,
they're the front runner.
Is it a three-peat for Cleveland Golden State? Or is Golden State
could be
right for the pick?
Could be. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I would have to. I mean, right now, I would pencil it in.
if Hayward was on Boston still, I would say the Celtics would give him a serious run. But I don't know if they have the horses now to take out Cleveland.
I really like the Oklahoma City Thunder, man, and maybe more than other people do. But I mean, Carmelo Anthony, when he played in the Olympics and he could just know his role and he could spot up and go, was really filthy for that Olympic team.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And now he's in that same role here in Oklahoma City. And the way I love Russell Westbrook, who I think is the best player in the NBA outside of LeBron James, and it's not even a question in my eyes. He means that much to that team. And the addition of Paul George now, that team's dangerous. And they can score at anybody in this league. Now, can they D it up enough? I don't know. But in a 7-gamer, I'll take my chances with West and go to war.
Well, you're also talking about Golden State. That 60% of the team can shoot 45% from the free line, and that's what kills you. I mean, they just come down and just start burying threes on you and raining down on you. I mean, it's all over. You can play all the offense you want. You can't stop the threes on them.
Well, but what did we learn last night? I mean, granted, it's one game, and like you said in that video today, Houston has to act like they've been there before, but Golden State's not invincible.
No, they're not. They're not. And they run
not.
Draymond runs his mouth a lot, and that's how they go off of it. But they're not. And a Rockets team that I don't really believe in at all. Really, you want to be honest with you. I don't believe in that Rockets team. They're not one of my top teams in the West.
No.
People believe in them more than I do.
No.
But Oklahoma City's a better basketball team than them.
No, there's no question.
San Antonio with Kawhi's a better basketball team than them. And you can make a case that Minnesota could be a better basketball team than them. So
That's goddamn goaltending. What the
So
hell?
we'll see. Anthony Embiid is balling down the stretch right now, and he is. Ivan Molina, Golden State Warriors will win it all this year again. They very well could.
Good.
Jamie Lasher, any of you guys going to be at the game on Monday night? I will.
Yep.
Mike will be. So, and then Pop saying 115, 110, 10, 9, 8.
You got to figure Golden State will figure it out. I mean, NBA champion like that, they'll get it on track.
I mean,
again.
it's one night.
It's
right.
one night.
It's one night we're crowned champions already. And
I mean, they're not obviously. I don't think they're going to 74 again this year.
no.
You just tossed that out there, and I just realized it. How about my weekend? Penn State, Michigan, Saturday night. Drive home Sunday. Birds, Redskins, Monday night.
Are you going to Penn State, Michigan, too?
I'm working Saturday night. Yeah.
Working the whiteout.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm a little hype about that.
Look
Heck
at
yeah.
you.
They better not look
Pop,
forward.
Pop, don't do it. Stop putting the
They
scores
better
in.
not.
You're ahead of us.
They better
You're
not
ahead
look
of
towards
us.
Ohio State. They got to watch.
No,
they should beat Michigan, but don't look towards Ohio State.
I don't think they'll look ahead. They hate Michigan.
But I don't think there's an issue. Like, they should roll out of bed and beat Michigan.
Yeah.
How bad as they are. I mean, and they're not bad. I'm just saying
No,
they don't really have an offense right now.
Dude, a quarterback
They don't have an offense.
can't never get himself a quarterback is amazing.
Yeah.
Brian says the NBA is more predictable than WWE. It's Cavs Warriors again.
Okay.
I mean, you look at the league, yeah. I mean, there's teams that are good, but there's elite teams.
I got here on the Instagram chat. NJ Flag, what's up, fellas? Like what you guys are doing.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate the support, man.
I love the new names that are chiming in now on the YouTube and the Gram and the book. Like, I love how the family is growing.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
is, man. If you build it, they will come, right? We just got to build the field now.
Torch.
Got it. 115, 113.
We got
Rocco.
We got a 2-point game. Although here's the dirty little secret: is I'm pretty sure that this is a good 2 minutes behind our audience.
Yeah, it is. Which is fun.
Yeah, don't you ruin it for us.
But, guys, how many games do you project Embiid playing? And that's brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com.
I look at you because we're on the same page.
Terrible turnover by Bayless right there.
I guess I'm going to go 65-70. I'm going to be in that range.
And this isn't win. This is Embiid.
This is
having a
Embiid
game.
playing
Embiid, games played. Yeah.
You know,
People tune in late. They get excited.
with the minutes restrictions, I think at least early they might, back-to-backs, slow play it a little bit. But I think if there's barring any major injury, I see, 65, 70 games.
Okay.
Rocco, terrible pass down the stretch here. Horrible.
I like that he tried to make the extra pass, but in that situation, I might just fire that one.
Pump fake, get guys to jump out the gym.
I'm going a little less than Greg. I'm going 50. I see them babying the heck out of him still. I think they're really, really going to keep him on a minutes restriction. They might keep him off back-to-back games sometimes. So
Yeah, but even
I'm going to say 50.
Even keeping him off of back-to-backs, you think he misses 32 games?
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
NJ Flag on the gram also says 50.
Again, his track record doesn't give me any reason to think that he's going to go most of the season. At least not now. Hope he proves me wrong.
I'm going 55.
You better
60.
hope he does, because with that deal we talked about that they had to do, you better hope that he could play more than 60 games.
I'm going 55 to 60 minimum. Minimum. I think his top shelf is probably 70, and that might be a little aggressive because I know they have more than 12 sets of back-to-backs.
I don't think there's any way he plays 70.
Well, that's why I said it's aggressive. It's real aggressive.
I'll just put this on the table. If he don't play 70, there's a problem. I mean, I think 65 to 70 is the range he should be in. I don't. There's no health issues right now. And I think this is what's getting misguided by these minutes restrictions.
Right.
Is that they're putting in our heads that there's still health issues. There hasn't been health issues. You can make an argument since January. But we know for a fact there hasn't been any since April. There hasn't been any.
Right.
So if they baby him, they baby him. If they want to take down his minutes, I think the minutes will be taken down more than the games. That's my opinion. So I think that, okay, if you play like a 28 one night, the next night you might come back and on a back-to-back and maybe only play 18. So I think the minutes will be restricted more than the games.
The only way he plays close to 70 is if they just let him loose and take the chains off.
Well, TTP,
and I don't think they're going to do that.
But why do they have to take the chains off for him to play in every game and have minute restrictions?
I agree with
out?
you. The minutes restrictions thing is bull tonight. I mean, they should let him play for whatever. Minutes restriction. Let him play. Let the guys ready to play. Put him in there. You
Well, they did take him off tonight. They did take him off because they left him.
Right.
TTP said they clearly said screw the minutes restrictions.
They had to.
Yeah, he's probably, and he says he sees Joe Embiid playing around 65 games. So
Will Pierce, fifth seed. Sorry, Daniel Bakley, give shot to Redick, and Vinny Masson saying he's not making 50. Well, that's when me and Vinny disagree. He's got to make 50. Vinny, it's not. There's no choice in the matter anymore. This organization cannot continue to do this if this guy is healthy. Again, you want to limit the minutes. Then.
Right.
I do not think it's going to be game limits. I just don't see that. So we're talking about 70 games. There's still 12 games he ain't playing in. Right. Listen, I'll go to the stretch if he's healthy. He's playing in 80. I mean, really, because you can just limit the minutes.
Right.
So he doesn't play in two back-to-back situations. Okay, I mean.
Mike, you had brought up that he doesn't play a certain amount of minutes. They're saying to throw Washington off. The only team that hurts is the Sixers. Because if you're saying you're going to play him 16 minutes, what are you going to play him, 8 and 8? To play basketball in the NBA, you got to get in the flow.
Well,
you can't bring a guy off at 8 minutes, let him cool down, then get him back in the game. He's not going to play the same way.
But that's precisely the point.
Right.
Is that if you're publicly saying he's going to only play 20 minutes or he's only going to play 22 minutes or whatever.
Right.
Well, that gets the opponent thinking, okay, well, then how is he going to match up, or how are we going to match up against him? Where are they going to use him? How are they going to pick their spots? Meanwhile, internally, your team knows what's going on. So, I mean, realistically, do I think it's a ruse? No, I don't. But I think you could easily toss that out there,
Right.
just for, call it bulletin board fodder. Put it in Marcin Gortat's head that, I might have an easy night tonight. I'm only going to have to deal with Embiid for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But you don't know what 20 minutes, or is it going to be 24, or is it going to be 28? You don't know.
I just see the minutes thing as a problem, too, because last year you had Brett Brown not coaching the game but looking up at the clock trying to find out how many minutes this guy played to get him out of the game. And you can't do that. Let the guy coach. Let him put him in when he feels to. Let the chains off him. Let him play.
Yeah, but that's what you have 75 assistant coaches for, though. I mean, Brett Brown coached last year,
right?
Because that team increased by 18 wins,
right?
So, I mean, that's what you have 75 assistants. That's what you have. JoJo's assistant do is he's keeping track of the minutes. He's watching the game. He just taps Brett on the shoulder at all the 70 million TV timeouts. Says, hey, he's up to 18 right now.
Yeah,
and then Brett does whatever he's got to do.
Will Pierce, terrible loss. Got to hit free throws to win in this league, and that's a young team, and I think that's some of the growing pains you'll have is that kind of situations. And I think, and this is why I think this team's going to be better, because I think within the next 10 to 15 games, Markelle Fultz is a starter. And I think that has to happen and will happen as he gets healthier.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing that we knew Markelle Fultz could do, and the reason they went up to number one to take him is because he can flat out score the basketball.
As long as they don't keep making the same mistakes over and over, they're going to be fine.
And that's what I love about Fultz, and that's why you take him over Lonzo, is because at this point you needed a flat-out scorer.
There's no
you
question.
Had your Ben
No,
Simmons.
that was a better pick.
But-
it was absolutely a better pick.
But there's no harm in bringing him off the bench.
Not right
He's that
now,
score-
but
No.
even going into halfway through the year, he's that scoring punch off the bench. You still need that.
See, this is the one that I'm a little disappointed in tonight is Dario. I mean, you go 23 minutes and you only put up 3 shots. I mean, I understand.
1 for 5.
Or 5. I mean, I understand with him it's kind of like get in where you fit in. But you were a horse last year. You got to make your presence felt.
And I think it would have been his feeler, right?
But he's
And
also
feeling
got
it
2
all
more
out.
guys on his team that
Yeah.
can score.
I
So that's-
wonder how much basketball he has played this year is if he is fatigued early in the season.
And that's possible.
Because, I mean, in the preseason, they documented it. Once the season went over, he went over to Croatia and still played. He came back the day before training camp opened.
And that's why they gave him off basically for 2
fresh
weeks.
off a game.
Yeah.
And that's why Brett's like, all right, you're going to chill out for it. Because the homie just wants to play.
Yeah. See, now, and then that last comment you read, I would differ with that in saying terrible loss? No, not at all. Tough loss? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a tough
yeah,
loss.
I agree with you. I think terrible was the wrong adjective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
know.
it's just
I
reaction
understand
right
what you mean
after,
because the game was close. We
Yeah.
probably could have won it. Or maybe even should have won it, but
Yeah, frustrating
but
because
game one.
because his point got to make free throws.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
as we see it on our screen right now, down 5 with 2 seconds.
Man,
I'm assuming that's probably the final.
Man, you
the
played,
final
you
deficit.
played against a
but-
2 or 3 seed in their
Right.
home building
Yeah.
opening night, and you played right with them.
Yeah.
And Embiid, to Daniel Baker, he said he played 27 minutes. So Embiid only playing 27 minutes. You hung with a really good basketball team. Anthony Medio couldn't stop Gortat tonight. He made the difference. Also, can't count on Sixers making threes like this. It was good to see Embiid in late when needed. I had the Sixers at 47 wins.
Now,
Yeah,
now
real good
he's right,
number.
yeah.
Real good number.
I think he's halfway between us and
Yep.
you guys.
the-
Yeah, so he's right there.
And then the other side of it is, and it's almost word for word, Tommy, what you just said. Great loss. Team full of rookies and second-year guys lost by 5 to a 2 or 3 seed playoff team with multiple stars.
And that's why we continue to hopefully trust it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why you put the faith in it. And that's why our man died for our sins and did all this for us. And as much as I hate analytics in sports, in Hinkie's analytics in terms of tanking and accumulating picks, and the more picks you get, the more chance you have of hitting. That I agreed with. And listen, he got us to this point, and now, like Greg said last week, now you're in a position where now you build it, they will come. And now you can go entice a big name to come here, and whoever that name may be. But guys are going to want to start coming here because they're going to see this. and it's going to be easier to poach free agents because you're in a top 5 market as well. And all that matters moving forward. It all matters.
And the one thing I will say about this is that if you look a little deeper into the numbers here, we just saw them flash the stat that Bradley Beal and John Wall combined for 53 points, but it took them 47 shots to get 53 points. So clearly there's some defense being played, even though the final score may be a little elevated, a little higher than we're used to seeing in some NBA games. When you got to put up 47 shots to get 53 points, I mean, there's clearly being some defense played against you.
And that could very well be the best backcourt in the East.
It is. And Zach Boylan's saying, John Wall doesn't get the respect around the league he deserves.
No, because he hasn't won the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's why.
And he does go unnoticed. But, yeah, you're right. He does have to stay healthy consistently. Yeah. He's another guy who's been banged up plenty and not on the court enough, and that goes with his teammate Bradley Beal. But they are flat-out dangerous when they're on the court together. Darryl Dawkins, they look real good tonight.
Darryl.
Back from the dead.
Nice. Attaboy.
Malcolm Mudgeon. Good game, but Brett made critical mistakes in the last 3 minutes. 2 terrible turnovers. Need a big man to rebound mid-fourth quarter, but I see a real improvement for this team.
Well, that's probably Amir, that big man that rebounds. That's his job.
Right. Yep.
That's why you bring him in, but he fouled out against Gortat.
Michael Tafari. What up, Mike? Dario could be fatigued, I agree, but also take into account the number of weapons on the court during his minutes out there. True.
Sure.
Okay.
Very true. And he also goes on to say, and 16 to 17 turnovers also doesn't help much, and that's way too much for a basketball team.
So,
but they'll slow that down, man, as Ben gets more comfortable and more acclimated with the system. I think that's something that slows down.
So here's a question for everybody here. So they technically, Jamil, you're talking Fultz and Simmons are all new to the lineup scoring-wise. They all can score. Who on the Sixers team is going to take less scoring now to make a better team? In other words, there's only one ball. Who's going to take less scoring?
No, it's got to be Covington.
Who didn't tonight?
Yeah.
But he wasn't a main scorer last year for you, a big-time scorer last year.
He was one of our. He was definitely top.
He was a
top
convenient
3.
scorer.
Yeah.
I think the way it's going.
4.
I think the way it's going to pan out.
Somebody had a score. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's going to be JoJo. He's going to be the leader.
Yeah.
And I think
Simmons.
I think JJ and Simmons are 2-3, and it's very close.
Yeah, I mean, and you're not going to see a lot of minutes out of Stauskas.
But JJ's not going to get. He's not going to.
But I think that's
was
15.
a gunner.
I think both of those guys are right around 14, 15 a night.
See, we're different. I'll go JoJo 1, but I'm going. I'm going Markel and Dario 2, 3 in whatever order you want to slice it. They're your scorers. I mean, you can say whatever you want. Markel Fultz is a scorer. Dario tonight, I'm not going to go off tonight.
Right.
We know we can flat out score the basketball.
I'm not saying no.
So
yeah.
I'm looking at them as my top 3 scorers. Really, I don't look at Ben as my. I put Ben maybe 4 or 5 because he does everything.
I want Ben to be a 10-10 and 10 guy.
And that's sort of what he was tonight.
I don't want 25 points out of him. I want 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Yeah. Give
me that triple-double every night.
Markel better be a top 3 scorer for his basketball team.
As a rookie, though, I just find that hard.
But Greg, they're all freaking rookies.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going with JJ as my veteran, my shooter.
I'm not buying that he's going to. I'm not
Then
buying
don't buy it.
that
I
he's
don't
second
care.
on the team and score. Well, you should care. You should care a little bit when you're wrong.
Okay.
You're going to say he's your second leading scorer.
I think the role he has, yes.
All
Big, first year, that wouldn't be bad.
Biggest takeaway from the
it's fine. I just don't see him as a nightly guy who's going to give you 18. I just don't see it consistently.
Well, no, I'm at 14. I didn't say 18.
As your second leading scorer.
Yes, because I think it's going to be that balanced.
All right, that's fair.
Okay,
I think Dario's a walking 18.
Obviously not tonight.
All right, but you also can overreact both ways. You know what I mean?
Biggest-
I just think that's who he is, right?
Agreed.
I think he's your second leading scorer.
biggest takeaway tonight, IMO, is Simmons displayed he can absolutely run this team.
Yeah, that's a huge positive what we noticed tonight.
I just don't think that was ever a question once he got on the floor. You know what I mean? I think his game had always been that. And sure, there might have been questionings of growing pains and a guy of almost 7 foot bringing the ball up the court on a pretty regular basis. But I don't think that was, at least to me, I don't think it was ever a question. It was just a matter of how smooth it was going to be. Now, maybe that's what he means. Maybe he was a lot smoother and it came a lot easier for him, but But real quick, getting back to if you build it, they would come. Mm-hmm. Don't discount that practice center they built in Camden either.
Oh, yeah.
As a part of this whole process. You know, how many teams, and especially because these are all young guys, how many teams have their players stick around town to work out in the facility like the Sixers did?
Not many.
Not
You know,
many.
all these young guys were around town all the time because they were working out in this state-of-the-art facility that they have, as opposed to going back to their home gyms or back to wherever they go in the off-season. They all stayed around to be around each other. I mean, that's a huge part of this whole process thing that Sam built.
Well, yeah, isn't it huge, though? I mean, that's what gains chemistry for a young basketball team more than, I mean, yes, playing together matters, but being in the facility, working out together, practicing together,
Well, knowing
everything about each other.
Yeah,
right.
just becoming friends. I mean, that's half the battle
They
in
asked
sports is
they asked
that
McConnell.
relationship, right?
They asked McConnell, they said, what'd you do after you got married? You know, I went on my honeymoon. Where? Camden.
Nice. and I like TJ just because he's a fighter, you know, and I think he has a role here. Now, he gets a lot of heat in groups, and, you know, people said Bale should start over, and I'm fine with that. But
I mean, with those two, I think you flip a coin. They're two different
guys.
point guards.
Yeah, and that's fine. One's more of a distributor,
Right.
one's more of a shooter, but just his toughness has a role.
TJ
Yes.
hustles his butt
Yeah,
off. I mean, he's a fighter, and you keep him on a team.
Yeah, you just even if he's your third guy in as a point
Right.
guard
Right.
for 10 minutes a night, he brings some toughness to you, and you know,
That's
wants to
it.
win that
That's
1-2
it.
that
Yeah,
we always
yeah,
talk
yeah.
You
about.
put him in 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to get hustle out of him for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, you
So,
are.
Right.
Yeah.
Charlie Rice, what up, Charlie?
Charlie.
2 late turnovers, missed free throws, Amir Johnson, and a bad Dario night was only downfall night. For 3 new starters and a young team, we're going to be fun to watch. No question about it.
No question.
Molly saying, what up, Mikey?
Hey, Molly, what's up?
Your sister was in here, too, saying she's here. She said that
my
earlier.
sister?
Yeah, she's
Nice.
here. She's here.
Hey.
Hey. But no, I mean, there is a lot of excitement, and we should be excited. And, you know, to put our expectations at a 3 to 5, I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. You know, are we jumping guns or maybe a little too excited? Yeah, but again, we battle with the best, one of the better teams in the East. The sky's the limit for this team. I think the more they play together, the more that chemistry is going to grow, and we'll see where it all, you know, how it all plays out down the road here.
I mean, are we all kind of in agreement here, though, that, like we're saying, like JoJo is your one, one meaning your scorer. Ben is your facilitator. And basically, everything else is just going to kind of revolve around where the other guys sort of fall into their roles in terms of scoring, defense, doing the grunt work, rebounding, you know, et cetera. I mean, are we saying, I mean, and obviously, you know, you're convinced that Markelle has to be a scorer, and I agree with that. I think that'll
he has
come.
to be. I think that's who he is.
Well, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as we look at the 2 rookies, I mean, do we think Ben has the bigger impact because he's the facilitator, or do we think Markelle has the bigger impact because he's going to be the one scoring the basketball? Or is it one of those things where you just kind of be glad that you have both of them and move on?
Yeah, I think they're 2 completely different players, and their impacts are going to be completely 2 different types of impacts. You know, one's a do-it-all guy, right? And one's a distributor, can score in transition, can get to the rim in terms of Ben, and does stuff around the rim more, and will rebound the basketball and start your transition offense. And that's why you like a guy like Ben. Guys who can rebound and transition, it's so important. But Markelle brings a different factor. And this is why, you drafted him 1, because there's one thing that you know Markelle Fultz does when he steps on the court, and it's the ability to get to the rim. He gets to the basket at will. His game just translates that way. I don't know why. He's not the quickest guy, but he's crafty and can get to the rim. He reminds me a lot of D. Wade when he first came in the league, just the craftiness of the 2. Okay. And
I just think, like Greg, if you're going to ask him to be the number 2 scorer in this team, I think it's tough to ask a rookie to do that. How many games do you think he can take over in a game? I mean, can he really take over this game and go nuts and really
Because he only played 18
points?
minutes tonight and scored 10 points. So, I mean, that's all I need to know, right? I mean, he was 5 for 9 from the field. 5 for 9 from the field, his first game in only 18 minutes. What does that tell me?
And he got fouled on his first 2.
Okay, Bayless played 28, right? Bayless played 28 at 13, right? Ben played 35 and at 18. Okay, that's right where I think he can be at.
Right.
Redick played 32 and at 12. Okay? Right? And then Dario had a bad night tonight. So, add the minutes up, man. Add another 10 to that.
Wait, what?
Right? Add another 10. So, where's he at now?
Well,
All he says is
Where's he at now? You had another 10 minutes today. He played 20.
the few times.
Greg, he played 18 goddamn minutes.
I'm not saying he can't be the number 2 scorer.
Shit.
I'm just saying to
I
respect
said
that.
2 or 3. I said 2 or 3.
I said I don't think
Never said 2. I never locked in 2.
my God.
I never locked in 2. I
Hold,
said that
hold on a second.
should be
though.
your 2.
But there's a lot. There's
Yeah,
actually
these
a
are
logical
my
argument
words.
here, whether you guys want to
These are
believe
my
it or
words.
not.
Is there? Good.
There
Great
is.
logic.
How many minutes did you say Reddick played?
32.
32.
See, that's too many for him.
I completely agree.
So for me, Reddick's got to be 26 to 28, and those other minutes have to go to Markelle eventually.
And they
I
might.
don't even
and
know
they
if he
might.
does that many. I think he does 20 or 22.
But again, you don't bring a guy in.
You don't pay him
23
$18 million, you know, 18
or
to
20
That money would have got
$20.
money would have got used anyway. So
Well, I know,
the
but
money's
you,
a moot
don't,
point.
but you don't make that signing to just sit here and say you're taking
pump
20
your
minutes.
Brakes. Pump your brakes. You don't draft the guy at number 1 overall to play him 18.
I agree.
Right?
He should play more.
But you're just saying that he's making a point that Reddick's minutes should go down a little bit, then bump up Markel's, and you're saying you don't sign a guy at $22 million that play him 22.
No. That was to his
Oh,
comment.
okay, well, I'm just coming out of it because I look.
That was his comment.
I'm looking. I'm hunting. It's hunting
Yeah, and I'm
season,
not.
Greg.
I mean,
It's hunting
we all in
season.
agreement. We want the Sixers to win. Why are we hunting?
I'm hunting you.
Yeah, I know. Why?
Because you're a
For
goddamn
what?
problem.
No, because you have an issue me saying that Markelle Fultz should be the 3rd leading scorer on this basketball team. I don't know why that's an issue. That's what he does.
Trust the process. Raise the cat. We're good.
But you know what I mean? Like him playing 18, though, is not enough for him. But I think it will translate if he gets up to that 28-30 mark. Now where are them points? Now he's around that 16 to 18 mark.
He needs to get healthy, too.
And I think that's right around where he'd be. Now,
Well, you're going to know in a month because all the shooting percentages will leave themselves out. They'll have bad nights, they'll have good nights.
Yeah.
And you'll see what you have. First night, we're all getting crazy because we want to. We'll see.
Tiffany's saying, whoa, let a brother talk. Well, I've been letting him talk all the time.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
See, here's the
Everybody's blood pressure up triple digits.
here's the
I love your
the
brother,
spin
by
on
the
this
way.
thing is that if we were doing this season preview without having live reaction to a game going on at the same time, we'd all be way more mellow. We'd be educated. He'd be coming in hot because he always does.
Yep.
But it'd be a nice calm discussion. But because we just watch them lose, everybody's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hot. And I'm hot because my number 1 pick only played 18 minutes. Now, granted, it's a health issue, and that's why the minutes are limited. But I'm not playing that game anymore. And this is why I'm calling out everybody in the Sixers organization. You can tell me, we can talk about paying a guy X amount of money to come in here and he needs more minutes because you paid him that much, whatever the case may be. But you don't draft the guy number 1 overall that consistently through a season play him 18 to 20. Because that to me would be a flat-out joke. A flat-out joke.
Cassidy Hubbarth, how you doing? Wow.
Bob Hartman, what's up, fellas? Even in a loss, that was really fun and exciting. Not digging Embiid's hair, though. No, I think he should. You know what I mean?
He needs to go back.
Go back. The AI didn't work.
No.
Although I was laughing my ass off when Greg, was it Chauncey Billups
I must apologize.
who said
that's not gonna
said
be
that you notice he waited until he signed the big deal to put the cornrows in.
Oh, yeah.
No gangsters get love.
Jeez. Zach Boyle and Embiid and Simmons both either double-doubles against a tough interior defensive team. Yeah, and they are tough. I mean, Martin's tough inside.
Yeah.
I like Martin a lot.
Yeah.
Martin
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Martin.
Well, here you go. The next game is Saturday,
Friday. Home opener. Celtics.
And then back-to-back, you get Toronto. Again, those are two tough teams. Teams
How
that
do you
are
match up? Yep.
teams that are above you, even if you are the 4 seed, right? Teams that you think going into the season are going to be above you. How do you play?
Well, let me ask
Schedule
you a
makers
question.
did them no favors this week.
No, absolutely not.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What are you looking for in them games? Are you looking for something similar? Are you okay? Are you okay with if you don't win any of them, but you're in each one?
No, there's no doubt about it.
Are you guys okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Or do you got to get one of these? Now they play back-to-back Toronto.
They do.
So
you have to almost think JoJo's not playing Toronto.
So would you say?
You would have to think.
Would you end that 1-3 and be okay with that? Because if they could beat Boston at home, right? Not just because of the energy.
I think they're going
right?
to. I think they'll split.
You think they'll
between
split
them and
Toronto?
Toronto.
Okay.
Correct.
Well,
Okay.
I think if you win 1 and 2, I think that's a steal.
Correct.
These first 3 games. If you start off 1 and 2,
You got a possible
I think
3
it's
seed, a
steal.
2 seed, and a 4 seed. You're playing in 3 games.
Here's
if
where I'll
you go
with
1
this.
and 2, that's fine.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
What I'll say is, if they go 0-3 through this first 3-game stretch, but every one of them's a close game, I'm perfectly
that's
fine with
fine.
that.
Everything's like tonight.
Correct.
Yeah. If they get blown out in one of them,
You got to say they come back.
and don't win one, then I kind of take a step back and go, oh, what happened there?
Right.
I'm not jumping off the
Right.
bandwagon.
Right.
But, I mean, they can go 0-3, and it's perfectly fine if all three are competitive.
We're looking for toughness.
But we're looking for
Well,
toughness.
you're looking for
improvement.
progression is what
Yeah,
you're looking
exactly.
for. So during the course of the year, I'll give them a month and a half. Say they're losing games by 1 or 2, like Tom said. They're coming back in games. All of a sudden, they start winning a couple games. They start fighting back. That's what you want to see. You want to see them moving forward. I don't care about to be honest, I don't care about the record. I want to see them make progress because the process has been a long process. And I want to see you start working. That's what I want.
Okay.
Couldn't agree more, brother. Couldn't agree. I mean, that's right. I mean, that's all you're looking for.
Right.
Now, selfishly, we want playoffs.
Right.
Like we talked about, because I think it's good for their development.
Sure.
But we're okay. I think we can all agree that we're okay with progress
Correct.
of the process.
That's why I said if they don't make the playoffs, but they're fighting hard and they're pushing and pushing and pushing, it's okay not to make the playoffs.
And you see Markel get better. You see
Right.
JoJo come off.
Then the next year they tear it
you see
up.
Ben, Dario.
Yeah.
You see these guys
Right.
just get better together.
Right.
And you okay, maybe you get off to a bad start the first month and a half.
Right.
But then you start catching a little fire and start playing really good basketball.
Right.
But because of a bad start to start off, maybe keeps you at an 8 seed set. I don't know.
Right, but here's what I'm looking for on top of that, though, because when you go back to, how many games are they going to win, and I said 50, well, how are you going to get to 50 wins? You're going to get to 50 wins by having these first 2 weeks make you better really quick.
Right.
You're going to get to 50 wins by beating up on teams like Orlando, Miami, Charlotte, teams that are either not playoff teams or are your, 7,
your
8
competitors.
seeds. Your 7, 8 seeds. You're gonna eventually find a way to beat up on the Torontos. The Knicks. I mean, the Knicks are a joke this year, so they should beat up on them. The Nets. Like, you're not gonna have, or you shouldn't have, games against teams that you should beat where you just STB.
Yeah.
That can't happen this year.
Yeah.
William White Jr. Won the 3 seed, so he's in that mark. So
That's aggressive.
I like
That's
his style.
very
Nobody's
aggressive.
mad at you, Will. Thomas O'Neal, Fultz foul shot was uglier than Hayward's foot.
Oh, I don't know about that. That was,
good.
that foot was ugly.
But-
it was pretty ugly.
But that's really just his shoulder, man.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Because he does come back a little bit more, which is going to create some strain on the shoulder, and that's their way of being easier on that shoulder. That's the only reason I see for that change of his foul shot. It's just a shoulder injury, really. I think as that shoulder heals and gets better, I think you'll see him back to what he was doing before a little bit more. Zach Boylan saying he's scared of the matchup, essentially, Celtics-Sixers. He's a Celtics guy, and Celtics are weak inside outside of Horford, and he thinks the Sixers can really dominate them inside. I could see the Sixers winning
I
Friday
don't know
night.
about dominate them, but, I mean, they could beat them.
No, like not dominate the game,
Oh,
dominate
okay.
inside.
I got you.
Yeah, which could
They
equal
could.
a
They got
win.
size. I mean,
Which could equal a
Yeah.
win. I could see them. I could see them
I-
feeling
You're
right.
right. You're
Friday
right.
night.
Home
Boston.
opener.
Yeah, I was
that's
gonna
gonna
say-
Oh, it's gonna be
off the
electric.
wall.
Yeah.
I could see them absolutely blowing Boston out in the
and
home
shoot
opener.
a percentage.
Boston's still in shock, essentially, from what they had to witness
Yep. Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
night. I mean, there's a lot of factors.
Well,
Yep.
look at how Boston starts the season.
They did play tough last night, though.
Right, but they go Tuesday and they lose their big free agent signee for the season. They come
Yep.
back Wednesday. They're off Thursday, and then they have to come to Philly Friday.
They're playing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Wow, they hit him with a back-to-back early.
They hit him with a
Wow.
back-to-back
Yep.
right out of the gate.
So
I
we'll
mean,
see how they handle the
Get this
back-to-back.
scenario, right? So, Sixers get the 6th seed, right? Play the number 3 seed, Boston Celtics. Gooder and Hayward comes back for the playoffs. Who's on the minute restrictions?
That was essentially the video yesterday, right? I mean, we were talking at PJ's, talking to Mike, and we were chatting it up, and I made a joke like, if Hayward comes back before Embiid with his ankle hanging and comes back with no minute restrictions and Embiid's still on it, we got a problem here.
Oh, yeah.
And that was
no.
a joke, and some guys like, you're a moron. You're just looking for something to complain about. What do you mean I'm looking for something to complain about?
We already
I'm not
have
hu-
something to complain
I'm not
about.
hunting for this issue. This issue's getting thrown in my face.
Right.
So I'm just being honest about the issue. When's it going to end? That's why the Groundhog Day video and other things like that. Like, why do we consistently wake up and have to even have this conversation? Just don't tell us. Just play him 27. I don't even want to hear restrictions. Play him 27. We don't need to know a damn thing, Brett. And it's not Brett's fault. It's up top,
Yeah.
and it's the medical staff, and it's Babium. But everybody's like Greg Oden or different guys with foot injuries. It's 2017. Oden was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Modern medicine, Daddy. Right? I mean, there's a lot of things that different things that can get that foot hasn't even been in conversation, guys, really. Right? It was the meniscus last year. It wasn't the foot.
Right.
So,
Here's my thing,
the
though.
meniscus.
If they make the playoffs,
I don't believe that either.
and he's still got a minutes restriction in the playoffs,
I'm
Brett and that whole goddamn organization needs to be fired.
Not Brett. Colangelo up.
Well,
I love Brett. I'm not fired.
Yeah, but you
No,
know what?
this is Brett's year to get judged.
But in the playoffs, Brett could be the one to say,
Next year.
Jerry, screw you.
That's right.
We're in the playoffs. I'm playing them.
He's been through. Yeah, no, you're right. And I think Brett would, and I think Joel wouldn't have that either.
Yeah.
He'd be tossing tables and stuff in
I just don't
Colangelo's
know.
office.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know how as an organization you can get to the playoffs and you're like, yeah, we're going to still keep him on the minute restrictions. Like, are you kidding
That's
me?
a Strasburg situation, right, boy?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had their chance.
Had that work
nationals,
out.
and they shut it down.
Yep.
And they've never been able to get over that hump
Yeah.
since. Listen, that's what happens when you baby. Scared money don't make money.
Yeah.
Imagine this scene, though. Imagine this scene. So you get the scene right out of Rocky IV. They're in the playoffs, and Brett is trying to take Joel out of the game, and Joel just looks at Brett on the bench and goes, "Fucking bullshit!" And then he looks up at Colangelo in the press box and he goes, "Fucking bullshit!"
Like the old Ryan Howard point up to the stand after
nice.
Homer.
It's like Ivan Drago looking up at Gorbachev and giving him the
Bob Hartman's right with us. He said Brown shouldn't have shaved. I like the pop look. Me too.
Oh, the pop look was the deal.
Zach Boylan's Giannis put up 37 and 13 with Kyrie with 17 bucks. Beat Celtics 108. I can't read the rest. So the Celtics lost tonight.
Okay.
Really?
Wow, somebody check that out.
So they lose the
Listen,
back.
the Celtics went-
they lose
went
the
through-
back end of a back and
They
back.
went through a big loss
big
right
wall.
now. They'll get it together,
Right.
the Celtics. I mean, they're going to went through a big loss.
But 0-2 and losing to Milwaukee, you know.
Milwaukee's no joke.
Milwaukee's a playoff.
No, I know, but
playoff
just
team.
108, 100.
Well, listen, no. Because, listen, I have no problem with Kyrie wanting to be away from LeBron's shadow and make his own mark.
No,
and,
he
and
is.
not wanting to be second fiddle.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm calling your ass out. Because, listen, you want to be the guy. Guys don't lose back-to-backs.
Right.
Right? LeBron ain't going to let the Cavs lose back-to-backs. Right? So his stat line wasn't good tonight. You got to be a carrier, man.
Yeah.
You want out, and you're going to say the things that you said on your way out the door. You can't fail, man. You cannot fail.
A lot of pressure.
It's going to make you look really bad. So I'm calling out Kyrie Irving. You want to be the man? You want to be away from LeBron James' shadow, out of the shadow? Well, you have your opportunity here, and you're off to an 0-2.
108, 100.
And what did Kyrie's stat line? I want to know his stat line tonight. Tell me his goddamn stat line.
While he's pulling that up,
I don't know why I'm hot with Kyrie, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he wanted away, and he wanted to be the man, and I respect him wanting to be the
Now
man.
you're the man.
But now you're the man.
Yep.
And Hayward going out shouldn't affect his game at all because they're loaded. They have a lot of talent on that roster.
Yeah.
well, while he's pulling that up, breaking out of Chicago, Cubs down 3-0 in that series. We'll get to that in a minute. But Wilson Contreras, Cubs catcher, longest home run in the postseason since 2005, 491 feet.
In the cold
Is
weather.
that it? 491?
491.
That's a bomb.
Yeah, is
So
that
here
it?
you go.
Is that it? Couldn't get the 5?
Yeah, he couldn't get
blow it
another
out a
9
couple
feet.
yards.
He couldn't hit the ball another 9 feet. Come on.
Give him the bounce.
Exit below.
Get back on the needle.
Yeah, exactly.
39 minutes, 7 of 25 from the field, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 17 points.
Crummish. Flat out crummish, and I love it. I love it. Because, listen, I'm always a big believer that Mike's better than LeBron, and that's just my belief as an older
he is.
guy, right? And Mike's a carrier,
Yep.
and the 6, like Brian's saying, and all them things. But LeBron's special, man. And anybody that doesn't see that is just a LeBron hater. I mean, he is the best player in the world. You know, he is a specimen. He is a carrier. He's all them things. We don't have to like some of the things he does, and that's all well and good. But to say he's not the best player in the world is just hate, right? So I'm not going to buy into that. But this guy begged to be away from that guy.
Right.
You wanted out, man. So now you have your opportunity to get paid big bucks to be the man, and you go 7 from 25 from the field when your team needs you after that loss last night. Leaders step up. Leaders go off for 35-40 tonight. Like a Kobe will come out and say, oh, we lost a big guy to injury. Watch me take over this basketball game. That's what the greats do. Not just a guy.
Right.
He's just an all-star to me. You understand that?
Yeah.
Kyrie's always been an all-star to me. Great handles, can do a lot of things. But once you get away from the king, look what happens to you. Look what happens.
The Admiral in attendance in San Antonio
He didn't
tonight.
do shit when he had to be the guy in Cleveland. Now, granted, he was a pup and young, but he never carried. Kyrie's never been a carrier.
Oh, here you go. You
Calling
gotta.
him
Well,
out.
it's tough for a true point guard to be that.
Jose Cologne, what up, folks? What up, Jose?
What up?
What up, Jose? What up, yo?
What up, yo?
Todd Womack, Eagles and Sixers showing promise. Mr. Poogs, sup, fellas? Michael was a closer. To your point, where you're talking about Jordan.
Oh, yeah, that's what he did.
Michael was a closer.
And but LeBron's different game, too. Like, it's a different style.
They're two different errors. I
Yes.
mean, Michael did it all.
Yeah.
You know, LeBron, although some people say he's a great shooter, I think he's more of a driver to the lane, get out of my way kind of guy. And he can shoot as well and plays defense.
He says Kyrie equals Pippen.
I'll even go a step worse. I mean, Scotty's a top 50 player of all time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fact.
I
So
agree.
I'll go. He's not even in that conversation. He really isn't. I like Kyrie as a ball player with LeBron.
Yeah.
You run away from the guy, and now your true colors come out that you're just a guy. You can't shoot 7 for 25 when you're the leader of that basketball team. The night after that happened.
Right. I think Jordan was special because he made guys on that team better. I mean, he had a cast of characters like Cartwright and Horace Grant and all. I mean, those guys weren't that good, but Jordan made them better.
Bill Wennington.
Bill Wennington.
Will Purdue.
Paxton. I mean, he had a bunch of guys that were no names.
Yeah,
My whole thing
John
with
Paxton
Jordan,
and Steve Kerr could stroke it,
the
though.
Jordan era
Yeah.
going into Kobe I was always saying, two guards sign shoe deals, big men win championships outside of LeBron. Because even Kobe needed big men to win chips.
Yeah.
Kobe
And
would
Andrew
steal the
Bynum-
ball from his own teammate to get the ball at the end of the game. He wanted
And
it.
Shaq took them over the top, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people forget the year he won without Shaq.
Yep.
Andrew Bynum was a
Yep.
pimp, okay, and Pau Gasol could flat out play. So he had two legitimate
And they
big
had
men.
Robert Ory, the assassin,
Oh,
who'd come in
yeah.
for 2 minutes and kill you.
Guy
Big
just had
shot
so
Bob.
many, he had so many
Yep.
on his hands.
Yep.
Big shot Bob.
And that's no disrespect to Kobe.
Yeah.
No.
But it's just like, that's how great Jordan was. That's how much of a carrier he
Oh,
was.
yeah.
And how he made everybody around
He
him
was
better.
deadly. Deadly he was.
So good. And LeBron's great.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron's a top 10 player of all time right now.
Yep.
He just is. You don't
Yep.
go to that many finals and not
Right.
be in that conversation. You can even make the Army top 5.
I don't think
he's a specimen. He's
I don't
different.
think he's above Kobe yet. I think it's Jordan, Kobe, him.
I'll agree with that.
Because Kobe, he's a great shooter, defender, won 5 rings, did it without Shaq. He's got a lot of a good resume.
Shaq's 3 to me just because of the pure dominance. Like I always will say that. Like in terms of dominance, Shaq was the most dominant player
At that time, absolutely.
Modern era.
Right. Yep.
The most dominating player
Yep.
in the NBA, modern era. He was that great. He was unstoppable.
Mike, quick point for you. Going back to the
Hack-a-Shack.
Going back to the 50 games the Sixers could win. I'll give you
Right.
the big picture here. Do
Okay.
you think the Sixers can win 2 or 3 games against the same teams the whole season?
Oh, yeah. I
That's
think,
tough to do.
right, but
I mean,
but it's not the NFL. I mean, when you play the same teams, 4 to 6 times a season in conference, you're going to have to get 2 or 3 wins from some of these
right,
teams.
but I'm talking winning streaks of that team. The team gets better. The team figures you out the first time they played you. All these things matter.
But that's where the coaching comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to be able to adjust.
50, I'm just saying 50 wins is tough. That's
And-
going to be
and
a
there's-
big stretch.
and
That's a
there's-
hell of a season.
It is, but I mean,
Right.
and what you're going to do is you're going to see it early because there is a stretch early on where they play a bunch of teams on the road and come home and they have those same teams again at home like a week later. So you'll see it within the first month of the season. If they beat teams on the road, how do they then beat them again at home? Or if they go out on the road and they lose to these teams, how do they adjust when they come into
But I
to
think if
Philly?
you're going to do that and you run a stretch of 5 games that are, easy wins, Charlotte, whatever, they go through that stretch, they got to win 4 out of 5 of them easy.
Oh,
If they,
yeah,
if they
no question.
don't, then that 50's getting further and further
right, and
away from you.
that was the point I was making earlier is you can't give away games.
Right.
You
You got to be on point.
every team
Right.
is going to have a clunker
Yep.
every now and then where you just don't shoot it well or you just don't defend well or somebody on the other team is just absolutely unconscious.
Or you're going to the West Coast off an East Coast trip
Right.
and you're home and home.
But
a lot
good,
of things. Right.
good teams limit those.
Right.
And that's the step that they have to take this year. And if they do, I just see them having so much talent that I don't think 50 is ridiculous.
Right.
Aggressive? Absolutely. Ridiculous? Not even close.
If they do that, they'll do it in December and January. I don't think they do it early.
No, exactly. And that's why I
Right.
was saying, I think early on they struggle, and then they kind of start to
Get
hit
the
their
chemistry.
stride.
Yep.
But I could see
Yep.
I could see this team honestly like coming real close to running a table come February, March.
Wow.
I mean, I could see them dropping 1 or 2 games a month, February, March.
If they do that, they have arrived.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and that's
But
what. but
They
that's
will
what-
be a 3 or 4 seed if
But-
that
That's what we
happens.
were banking on.
But you look at what happened last year. I mean, they were what was it? I think 10-4 in January.
Yeah.
And they had a stretch where they went 15-11 overall.
Yeah.
Well, you go 10-4 in January this year, and that team keeps growing. So maybe you go 10-4 in January, and you go 11-3 in February, and you go 12-2 in March, and then all of a sudden, come beginning of April, you're sitting at 48 wins and you're a 4 seed.
How about this, right? Bob Hartman. How about Van Gundy saying Ben is the best player on this team and talking about this team being a 4 seed if healthy and a real force to be reckoned with? He's spot on. I mean, I think that's what we're saying, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's where our heads are at when we're talking about, 3 or 4 seed, 48 to 50 in that range, somewhere around there. Peter Albertson, but Yao Ming was Shaq's kryptonite.
He was.
Zach Boylan, only player all-time top 10 in points and assists, LeBron James. He's special. I don't,
It's a different game, though.
we're not taking anything away
It's
from that.
so different game. Yeah.
Like it's an offensive game right now.
No, it is.
Right.
But Bob Hartman, I feel for
you,
Hayward.
you can't discount those stats. That's ridiculous.
No, it is ridiculous, but you're right. It is a different
Yeah.
game. You're right.
This
Bob Hartman, he's
Go ahead.
saying he feels for Hayward. He doesn't feel bad for Boston or the organization.
But Hayward-
but he feels for Hayward.
Well, you know,
'cause he's a
Hayward-
Hayward fan, and so am I. You know
Hayward
how much
was
I
my
love
man
Hayward.
crush.
You
He
know-
was. I wanted him
And, dude,
real bad.
We talk about it all the time. I thought Gordon Hayward was a top 15 player in this league. That's how much I liked him. I wanted the Sixers to go get him.
As did I.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
and real quick to your point about LeBron, not this is LeBron's fault, but when LeBron drives a lane and it's just being LeBron, referees are going to see a guy get in front of him and step, and it could be the perfect block. He runs him over. They're going to call the defensive foul all the time. He's not going to get the offensive foul.
No,
They're
no,
not
no.
going to call it on LeBron.
Yeah, I know
They give him that benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I know we got to get to a break soon, but I got one here that's actually really interesting. So, TTV Ballin says, Kyrie's not a leader. He never was. He's an elite scorer. Todd Womack follows that, and he says, I see both sides. Yes, you don't just walk away from the greatest player in the world, but when LeBron keeps calling you kid, ... fuck you, I'm a man.
Is he?
So I can understand.
No, but
So-
is he, though? That's my question. He's 26 freaking years old. He is a kid. LeBron's a grown-ass man. I don't think him calling him a kid's being disrespectful to him. If you're gonna let – I know everything that's downstairs on you now, man. Because if you're going to let that affect you on your way out –
Well, don't forget that-
you're going to marbles. I mean, he got marbles then.
The world knows everything that's downstairs on LeBron, too, but that was a camera slip
Tom, like
last
you said,
year.
he would have shut his mouth when he left and just said, all right, I enjoyed playing with him. That's it. Everything's fine. But he had to say something on the way out.
He had to
now
go
he's
on
gotta back
first
it up.
take, Mike. He had to
Now-
go on first take.
Now
run
he's
got to
back it up.
He had to go here talking. And then he
Right.
plays a game where there's nothing left to be said.
But you know what?
I don't got anything bad to say. Dude, you just ran your mouth for a month.
But that wasn't one-sided either.
I know that.
This is what's ridiculous about this trade is how is it that two guys get traded to another contender within the same conference, and all Isaiah is doing is running his mouth, and all Kyrie is doing is running his mouth? The two of you just shut up. Go kumbaya somewhere and cry in your beers together, and then come back and play.
It was perfect. Kyrie wanted out, and Isaiah, they weren't re-signing him, so that's why they made the move.
Yeah.
So.
Listen, it was a good move for Boston. I get
yeah.
it. And, Mike, you're spot on. Like, just let it go. You're out.
Yep.
You have your opportunity to be the man.
Yep.
All you have to say is, and I think we would all accept it, all he has to come out and say is, hey, man, I just want, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay?
And then go out and do it, and then
go
say,
out and do
hey,
it.
see what happened? I'm on my own team.
But you're going to leave. You're going to be upset or want to trade
Right.
and leak that information because a guy calls you a kid?
Yep. Now you got to put it on your shoulders. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Todd Womack says, remember, guys, it's first game out of 82. Can't put any stock in any team until January.
Well, I'll put stock in Kyrie having nothing downstairs. I'll put stock in that all day.
No, he's talking about the Sixers.
Oh yeah, well that's fine. But
Well,
I just
yeah,
going to submit everything back to Kyrie because I'm on hate mode now. I'm on hate mode. And
No.
I'm not sticking up.
You?
For,
Get the hell out of here.
I mean, I'm not sticking up. I'm not sticking up for the king at all here. What my point is that if you want to be the man, be the man. And after what your team went through last night, and that gruesome injury and everything around that, you got to come out and be a leader tonight, man.
Yep. Step up.
You can't go 7 for 25 from the field if you're the man and you're playing. You're finally playing for a sports city, right? And you take a little jab at Cleveland a little more.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Right? I mean, think we all gave Kyrie. We all put Kyrie at that next level when they won it all, right?
Right.
I think we all watched and said, man, he was a big part of that. They couldn't have done it without Kyrie. Why do these guys internally nowadays can't be a second fiddle? I mean, Pippen played his whole career as a second guy. strived off of it, cared about one thing and one thing only.
Winning.
Rings. The Golden State Warriors, right? Steph is the biggest example of what a real leader is. I don't care about points.
Yep.
I don't care about A, B, C, and D stat-wise. I care about rings.
Yep.
And that's what leaders do.
Yep.
And if he was a real leader and not a crumb, he would have stayed in Cleveland. But he also leaks it, not even in the country, he leaks this nonsense. He's a problem. He's just a problem. I don't like Kyrie Irving at all anymore.
Look at how the show works. Jordan, Pippen, Steve Kerr, Will Purdue, and we'll bring Tony Kukoc off the bench in a little while.
Will Purdue.
How about this
Only
stat?
because you're the new guy.
Thomas Matthews says Kyrie is 82 and 171 without LeBron.
Wow.
Well, I'm just going to preface that, and that a lot of that is
He played with some shit.
it's early in
Yeah.
his Cleveland days when they were terrible.
It makes our point, though.
It does make the point, and I'm not saying that's totally wrong, but
No, that's just a
some of
number,
those
though.
early Cleveland teams were
Were really bad. But guess what? Some of the early Cleveland teams were really bad. But when the King was part of some of them early Cleveland teams, where'd they go?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
Right? I mean, listen, and Robert Hope saying Kyrie's a scorer, not a leader, and we know that. But we know you're a scorer. That's why you can't go 7 for 25 tonight.
But when you
gotta
say
put the
something
team on
like
your
that,
back.
you become a leader because, like you said, you got to step up.
You put
And the guys
the
out of your
target
lineup,
in
you
your
got to step
back.
and get extra points and win the game.
Yeah, I mean, when you come out and say that, I want to be the guy finally, and that's the way you're pretty much,
And
what
now
you're
you
pretty much
are.
telling us,
Yeah.
and you are the guy.
Right.
My whole thing is the reason I'm coming at the guy is what happened last night to that team and how
Yep.
much they needed him tonight.
Yeah.
And granted, it's very early in the season, and Kyrie's a good basketball player. But you cannot have that tonight if you want to be the guy and you want to be a top 5 player in the NBA. Top 5 players in the NBA don't show up like that.
Right.
Well,
That's all.
here you go, though. There is, as the world turns here, so TTP Ballin says he's got to prove he's not a kid, and LeBron's 10 years older, LOL. Kylie lost all credibility in the moment he said
You say call
the world
Kylie?
is flat. He's calling him Kylie.
What are the
Nice.
Kardashians?
I like
But-
that. I like that.
So-
not allowed in the locker room.
But Todd Womack makes a great point.
world is flat.
He goes, it was the Cavs owner who was building up Kyrie as the one to bring a championship because of LeBron leaving. So do we agree that he should have taken over the game or taken over for the games from the beginning? Which I don't understand the second part of that. But if you want to pin some of this on
Dan Gilbert.
Dan
Gilbert.
Gilbert, because he's the one that basically crowned Kyrie when
he should've.
LeBron left.
And he should have, though.
I agree.
He should have. I mean, that was your guy. That was the number 1 pick of the draft. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the next coming to take your franchise to the next level.
Yeah.
And
I
then
had
he
no
takes
issue.
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, but my point is, like, Dan Gilbert had every right to be
What's he
butthurt
selling,
with
suits
what
at Men's
LeBron
Warehouse
did.
now? Or?
Oh, yeah.
And LeBron's still talking, say he doesn't know anything to Cleveland, this, that, and the third. He's saying that right now.
Yeah.
Like my mom always told me, I don't owe nothing to nobody. What? You're saying that right now? I just,
You're still there.
Wow, these guys are just unbelievable. They told me too much. Too much. Just sometimes just.
Well, it's this now. It's this.
I know it
This
is.
wasn't around in Jordan's age.
Right.
Bob Hartman, what are the chances Boston drops in the East a bit without Hayward?
Oh,
Not
it's pretty-
fall off the
pretty
face
damn
of
good
the earth,
chance.
but go from a 1-2 seed to maybe being leapfrogged by, say, the Wizards, Bucks, Sixers, Toronto.
I still think they'll
Then
be
they,
top 3.
then they all of a sudden find themselves at a 6, 7, or 8 seed come playoff time.
I don't think they
No,
go. I
they'll
don't think
be-
they go 6, 7, 8.
Boston will be a top 3 seed in the East.
Yeah, I think 5's their floor, but I do agree with the premise, though.
Yeah.
They're going to drop a little bit.
Well, yeah.
But I just think, now you're going to see Jaylen Brown, not that he hasn't, but now he has to emerge. And you're going to see a lot more from Tatum than you wouldn't have seen because Hayward was there. So, yeah, they're going to drop a little bit just because they don't have, as you say, a top 15 player in this league right now. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I do agree with you. So I do think they fall. I just don't think they get all the way down to the 6 seed. I think 5 is
Yeah.
their floor.
I agree with that. I
I
think
agree with
they
that.
do have too much talent to
Yeah.
drop that far,
Yeah.
but I do agree with
And
Bob
they'll
to a point.
bring
Yeah,
it together.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I do agree
his
with
premise is there.
Yeah.
Sweep's not happy with me because I didn't read his shit off, but he's texting me. He's not in the chat.
Well,
And
get
I'm
in the
trying to
chat,
tell him,
Sweeps.
I'm
Let's
not-
go.
I'm not on the text game. He's like, got to change the culture, boys. Can't be happy with playing well, period. Let's go.
Yeah, but early you can be. I agree. But early you can be.
No, but I agree with the point, though,
Yes.
and the premise that you have to start learning and feeling wins.
Well, coming from where his team was last year, you got to hope that they play well. You
Yeah.
got to make the move
I will
forward.
take tonight as a positive.
Right,
These
right.
first three-
One game.
I don't
One
like
game.
none of us like L's, but I'll take tonight as a big time
right.
positive.
These
for the
first
organization.
3 games, I'm perfectly okay being 0-3 if you play well.
Right. You don't
Now,
get
That
torched.
comes to an end real quick, though.
Sure.
Real
Right, you
quick,
get
within a
torched in the
month.
game. Yeah, that's
Within a
problem.
month, that gets old
No
real
doubt.
fast.
Right.
They're playing well and hanging in, Bay. What else do we got here? Brian says Kyrie is such a bitch that he's making LeBron haters start to like LeBron. I mean, that's true.
I know he is.
I'm not Mr. LeBron at all, and he's starting to make me defend LeBron. Maybe because of the hairlines. I don't know if you guys see the bobblehead. I was at my buddy's wedding. That was a gift. I got my own bobblehead up there.
Nice.
And if you see the hairline, it's freaking spot on. Spot on. I mean, we're talking, we got V's. Sean Spielman, Boston's going to drop more than Arnone's hair follicles on his pillow every morning.
Shawnee.
I love it. I freaking love it. Peter Albertson, evening all. Ric Flair said, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Kyrie, man up. Woo! Woo! All right, boys. We ready for a little bit of a break here?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
We'll come back. We'll continue answering all your questions as well. We're going to dive in, obviously, some Eagles, Redskins, and a little MLB playoffs. Who's winning the whole goddamn thing? We'll let you know on the other side. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2DRadio.com, and we are brought to you every Wednesday night by our certified public accountant. Make them yours, Gibson Mayer LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. And listen, man, get the bars, the new soap standard. Lather yourself, gentlemen. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on a2dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer, LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Well, hello again, everyone. This is Bob Mannery, and you're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, only on A2D Radio. Tom and Mike, these guys are fucking awesome. But their side piece, Greg, that guy is a goddamn problem.
We're back, Tom.
Mike,
AM.
in the PM.
ATDRadio.com. We're live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW Atlantic City, off exit 17 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of AtlanticCity.com. Every Wednesday night, though, we are brought to you by our certified public accountant. Back for the three-peat, Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnaud, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovic, Brian Attard, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. We started our show off heavy Sixers, and rightfully so, in our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. How will the Sixers regular season end? 1-2 seed, 3-5 seed, 6-8 seed, no playoffs. Let us know, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. We'll get into Eagles, Redskins preview, and World Series predictions as well. Brian, welcome back, brother.
Thank you very much.
You guys skipped a week. You're back in the saddle again. You can find these boys over at the Sports Box, and hopefully, in the next, say, month, we got you guys here Friday night rocking on A2DRadio.com.
It's the goal.
For the people, we added 3 more shows in the last 24 hours for the people. For the fan, by the fan.
Yes,
this
sir.
will be the 4th one. And now you got a whole lineup of shows all week long. And for the rest of the people out there, are we battling with other personalities around the city? No freaking question about it, because we're changing the goddamn agenda here. And it's for the fan, by the fan. So, for that wild stuff out there, we're going to crush you. For that influence out there, we're going to crush you. So we'll just go down the list. I don't care.
Well,
I'm up for the war, baby. I'm all up for a war.
And
I told you it's hunting season.
For that guy who's a little bitter, bro, we have 5 times as many followers as you. There's no feud.
Who?
the guy who's bitter.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
I got the reference. Bitter, too.
Bitter, yeah.
Bitter, yeah. They can't compete there.
He sucks.
Guy tried to call us out a year ago, right? Tried to call us out. And Robbie and Mike know this well. Tried to call us out and I strive off of this. Like, I'm gonna work harder now. So our followers were probably about the same, around 4,000 or 5,000 each, about a year ago. And you know what the kid did?
What'd the kid do?
Put the foot down the pedal a little bit more and went to freaking work. And now
professional driver.
Yeah, now about 12,000 to 5,000. You say the same, and we grew. So guess what? Competition to me isn't what's in the rearview mirror. It's what's ahead of me, and there's a lot ahead of us right now, and we're going to take them down too. It's one at a time, Bri. It's one at a time. You can't take them all down at once.
It's like the rivalry between the hammer and the nail.
But I don't know what video he's talking about. I'd like to know what video he's referencing that I probably said something at the end of. I would love to know, because I do take shots. I'm in the business of shots.
But here's the thing. I and I'm gonna put the phone down, and I'm gonna be nice and calm here. Several weeks ago, I extended the invitation to our good friend Tony Cotillo, who you know very well, because I think you sit next to him on a certain couch once a week. We extended the invitation to Tony to come in, and we said
Who sits on a couch with him?
The bitter guy.
Oh, is the bitter guy talking in here?
Well, no, but the bitter guy watches us, and I'm just going to put something out there for him.
He'll dislike the YouTube.
So the bitter guy sits on the couch next to our friend Tony once a week, and they do a little thing that they like to call a show with some guy who's on TV, but he can't hold my jack when it comes to having a personality. But I digress. But we gave you an open invitation. We said we'll clear room on the couch. Come in and have an adult conversation. But you want to sit over there on your little couch with your little bottles of Miller Lite in your fancy Center City apartment, thinking you're some big shit, and you want to rip. Meanwhile, we do our thing in the rec room, and our show's better. So,
bro, if you're scared,
either come in and have an adult conversation with us, or, as Donovan likes to say, keep our name out your mouth.
You know what I love though? Like, if you're scared, get a dog. And a lot of guys are more kitten guys. You know what I'm saying? And you got some kitten guys. Like, so if you're shy and you're nervous, go buy yourself a kitten. That's always been my reference and my MO. And there's some guys who are just kitten guys. And I'm not talking about guys who own cats. I'm just talking about kitten guys. Some guys are little purrs, right? I'm a goddamn dog. I'm a rock. That's why I got a big boy inside in there too. Like, I like that. I'm coming throat.
Titan's a big
you know
boy.
what I mean? And it's not a disrespectful thing. Like, I'm not in the business of calling anybody out. I just think that we're big believers in just no agenda. This is how we feel about a situation. Take it or leave it. And these guys all have agendas. And that's the difference here. And you can go listen to the dial and go listen to other people with agendas, or go listen to these guys, because they're all about a certain thing and all about their access and scared to say how they really feel about situations. I'm not in that business. Who pays 94-1 bills? The Eagles do. So everybody on that company is going to have an agenda when it comes to the Eagles, right? The Philly thing, right? They want access. They're scared to lose access to things. Well, guess what? They're not going to have an agenda then. Their agenda is going to be scared to lose access and not keep it real for the people. Facts. Alex Ocasio, and it's a great one. Thanks for getting me through this late work shift, guys. Always look forward to Wednesdays. # for the people.
Thanks, Alex.
For the people. Alex, that's freaking
that's why we love you,
brother. But
although I want Alex in my YouTube chat. Get over here, Alex. Damn it.
Doug Zeke throwing the goat emojis around. Zeke, man. And Ryan Broder say they wish they were feuding with us.
Exactly.
LOL. Yeah, there's no feud. It's shutdown. There's a difference between a feud. Like, a feud's back and forth. A feud's coming in here and saying your opinion on the couch with the big boys. Come sit on the couch. Come sit on the section. Love to have you. But when you turn it down, or you don't show up, or you don't respond to it, that's kitten talk. And that's fine.
It's like the rivalry between the hammer and the nail.
That's it.
That's what it is.
It's facts. So, Brian, you weren't here for the Sixers. So, where do you – and I know you put it in the chat, but where do you have them, in terms of when the regular season ends?
Well, for me, I think they're a playoff team. I think that, there's not a lot of depth in the Eastern Conference, which helps them anyway. But I think on their own volition, they're a playoff team. And like you said, if they're going to get a little bit of a taste of it, and they're going to kind of get that – you always talk about getting a young team some experience in that spotlight. That's going to really help them in the future. So, sure, I think they're, a 4 or 5 seed. If they win around, that's all cake.
Yeah, it's all icing on the cake, right?
Sorry, Brian, I wasn't laughing.
No, you're fine.
Todd Womack just chimed in just as you were getting ready to speak, and he goes, "I want to sit on the couch."
Couch is sweet, guys. You really, it's a good spot.
Come sit on the couch anytime, man. We love it. We come sit here anytime you want. So yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that's right around where they are, and if they win around, they win around. But I don't think that's the end all be all is winning around. It's just getting to the dance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you talk about young programs in college basketball and young ones. You know, back in the day. Now, not so much.
Now
nowadays.
everything's young.
But them young programs back in the day in college basketball will just get a taste of March Madness.
Yeah.
See how it feels, and you might get knocked earlier. You might get knocked in the second round. But that next year, that sophomore year, that junior year, now we're starting to make a run. And I always look at NBA players and all athletes, period, is that junior year. And that's what I look at, you know, when we talk Eagles in a minute, and that's what we're going to. That's a Nelson Aguilar factor, which I looked at him and said, okay, now it's your junior year. Now it's a make or break. Yeah. So, you know, there's going to be growing pains year 1 and 2. So now, like in college, your junior year is your breakout year. In high school, your junior year is your breakout year. So,
yeah, if you're still playing JV as a junior, there's some issues.
And what do we always say? If you can't start as a junior, by the time you're a senior, there's going to be a freshman playing over you.
Alex Cossier says, oh, I know, Mike. They blocked my YouTube at my job, so I can't hop on until I get home.
Damn it!
Terrible. Tell us you're your boss. We'll make a phone call. We can't have that. Jeremy Beelan, ain't nobody fucking with A2D. Stop the madness. Tell them to step up. Nah, they don't need to step up. They stay where you're at. There ain't no step up.
Well, I'm a little dumber now, but that's okay.
Shots fired.
Are the Fly Guys playing tonight? Because Jose Cologne said Flyers action. Yo, are they playing tonight?
I think they're playing. Are they playing Nashville?
Tomorrow.
I thought I saw Nashville.
Come on, Jose. You're freaking better than that. Let's go. You are Mr. Hockey action,
You know what?
yo.
I also want
Let's
Jose
go.
on this couch.
I love
Come on,
this
Jose.
couch. The couch is open, man. It's for the fan, by the fan. We'll shoot you out the address. Stop on by. Grab a headset. Talk with us for an hour, and then we go our separate ways.
Yeah.
But that's what it's here for.
You just got to bring Monster.
That's it. You got to bring a 3-packer. I only brought 2 tonight. I don't know what's going on.
Wawa went to 2 to 4.
Now we got to make another phone call. A lot of phone calls.
We got to call Wawa. Go back to 3 for 6.
What does the sweeper say? You're a goddamn problem.
I have a guy.
Brian, why have a hockey guy here for a minute?
Oh, here we go.
Well, no, because I know.
Go ahead.
I think he's going to be honest about it.
No, he will.
Flyers, quickly. How do they look to you?
They're playing good to start the season. I mean, they've been dominant at home. So, I mean, again, the problem I have in believing in them is, remember that this was a team last year that won 10 straight games and missed the playoffs. First team in hockey history to do that.
True. That's
So
you
really can't be like, you can't get, you know, you said pump the brakes earlier in the show today.
Yeah.
Don't open up the trans and go full board just yet, you know, because, again, last year they won 10 games and they found a way to lose 7 of 8 in February and they missed the playoffs. So all things are good. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I think we talked on air last year, like, it was almost a lock that they were in, right?
Yeah,
I think
Into that 10 games.
Yeah, like, how did they not?
we were in. We were all fired up.
Yeah.
And then they, you know.
Oh, I see my boy Vinny jumped
hurt
in.
us.
Stream Smart, watch every hot game, NFL game, MLB game, NBA, UFC, the whole 9, every movie for your lady, no commercials, streamsmart.com. Vinny will drop the link in here, A2D promo. Drop the promo in, get a little discount. I know Greg's about to hop on the saddle.
Definitely about to hop on.
And guess what? Vinny don't come in plugging. The kid begs for the plug. Vinny gave me a freaking Street Smart on the house. It's the least I could do. You know what I mean? I got a Street Smart on the house.
Promotion.
Plug away.
Plug.
Please. Send another one for Greg.
David Rosca.
He said it, not me.
David Rosca, Flyers have outscored their last 2 opponents 13-3. Okay. I'll take
Listen,
it.
but it's young kids. It's not other organizations in the city babying. It's Exall saying, guess what? If you're ready, let's go. And we'll take lumps.
Well, hold on
go
now.
through that kind of thing.
Back up the train a second on this one. I'm going to disagree with you in part on this one. If you play up front, you could be 12 and Hextall's going to run you out there. You play on the blue line, no. You got to sit and watch. And I don't know what the problem is there, but he does not dig these young defensemen. Like, he's just dangling like Hag and Sanheim and Moran.
I think I know why, though. I think it's a trust thing. And when you're talking about the back end, and listen,
the goalies are not solid.
Yeah,
so
this is my 4th squad out of the 4, my 4th sport out of the 4, and I'm not going to act like I know more than hockey guys by any stretch when it comes to this.
Right.
But that's your back line. I mean, that's your last line of defense. That's the simple fundamentals, and he doesn't feel like throwing them the wolves is the right thing, not only for the mental side of it, but for the hockey team. So I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying he probably knows. I would hope
he knows more than us.
I would hope. I would hope when it comes to hockey.
I think that's the hardest thing for the Flyers fans right now as a fan base is the defense is what they've been really building, and this is the exciting part that you want to see these kids play, and they're not getting the consistent ice time.
Right.
They're, you have them up on the main roster, but they're your seventh defenseman or they're scratched. Like
The Fultz effect right now.
Basically,
right?
yeah.
I mean, it's a Fultz effect. You draft the guy high. Now, they're playing Nolan Patrick. That's a different situation. He's not on the back line there. But it's a Fultz effect. You draft the guy high. He's a young guy. He needs to play. Now, obviously, there's an injury reason, but same thing here.
Well,
Moran was drafted a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he isn't a baby, essentially, anymore in terms of hockey. I think there's a time where you say, hey, Sam, can you play or can't you play? And is it a scared thing that he's worried that maybe some of these guys can't play?
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
I saw something on the book the other day, so I can't take credit for this, but when I read it, it made perfect sense. And he said, in Hextall's mind, if you play up front, you learn to ride the bike by falling off. If you play on the blue line, you learn to ride a bike by watching other guys ride a bike.
All right. And it's coming from a former goalie, a guy who's done a great job in L.A. as an assistant GM, around the great GM in L.A., and it's all about who you surround yourself with, and you take the good and bad of what other guys do, and you bring your own thing to the table.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing a really good job. I mean, I think he deserves credit, strap cap wise and other things like that, and to be able to, he's drafted well, and it seems like they develop players well. So I mean, the sky's the limit for the hockey team. But like Mikey G said in the Facebook, Flyers are just not ready yet. Still have to fix goaltending for a permanent netminder. They haven't had one since Hextall. So full circle.
The jersey.
Full circle. But I mean, he's right. So they are and they aren't, like, not ready to win yet in terms of, like, they're not ready to take series in the playoffs yet. Are they ready? Can they get there? It's tough because the conference is tough.
Yeah.
But I still think that if they keep playing good hockey, that they can end up as at 8. Sure. But I think that's like the high, right? Like 7 or 8's the high.
Well, I'll tell you what. We both said a couple weeks ago that the Metro was so hard. Guess what? The team on my hat right now looks like absolute garbage. So that might be a spot that opens up. They look terrible. They look terrible right now.
Every time I see him, he's rocking the Rangers hat.
And he's rocking the trash on the front, too.
I saw the new whip last night, the new purchase.
You like that?
Tight.
Yeah.
Tight. Daddy car. You had to go to the SUV.
Hey, listen, I'm having a baby in January. I got to give away the Ranger Blue BMW, get into something different.
I love it. I'm right around the block in May. Thank God I already had the SUV.
There you go.
Now I got to stop ripping cigs in there.
Wait.
Have a little class.
Wait.
Class.
Was that a reveal?
No, I was just talking.
Okay.
No reveals. All right, let's get into some birds. Let's get heavy in the birds. Eagles, Redskins, another primetime game for the Eagles, 5-1, and in my opinion, a big-time statement game Monday night. And what I mean by that, you can lose this game. It's not the end of the world. But this is a statement in terms of putting the division to bed and a chance to show that, hey, there ain't no letdown with this football team. We're going to come to play a tough. Washington always plays us tough, and any way to get it done, to me, is all I need. I don't need pretty. I don't need pretty Monday night. We had pretty. We've had a couple pretties. 2 in a row that I thought that were pretty clean games for the most part. Monday night to me needs to be, if it's a dogfight, I'm good with it. As long as we're coming out with that W. So that's how I'm looking at it, is that mental toughness of this football team continuing. Right? If they lose, they lose. It's nothing, to me, it doesn't change who I think they are, because Washington's tougher than the division rival, and they're going to give you everything. But they're banged up. I mean, possibly I'm pretty sure no Breland and no Norman are up in the air, correct?
Norman, I think, he's definitely out.
Norman's definitely out. I think Breland might be out.
Norman and Breland are both out, and then now they just lost their number 1 overall draft pick, Jonathan Allen, for the year. So
in the middle, and that's the middle, and that's tough.
And Jordan Reed's always questionable.
Always, him and Julio are like Uncle Questionable.
Well, hold on, but you said Jordan Reed's questionable. Rob Kelly's questionable. Samaje Perine is questionable, which means they're down to Chris Thompson. Now, don't get me wrong, Chris Thompson's a talent.
So start him in fantasy.
But Chris Thompson getting 20 to 25 touches for your offense is not a recipe for success.
How about one Mr. Chris Thompson taking a shot? Chris Thompson, I've warned family about rowdy Eagles fans. He thinks they're mean.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, we are if you come in talking shit.
Bro, I mean, this is like every city, every NFL game. You're going to have fans like that. I do not know why it continues to be put right in Philadelphia's face like we're some kind of more of a problem than any other fan base. Have you been to a Raider game? I mean, these son of a bitches are calling out their own players in parking lots.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm so sick of it. Like a guy punches another fan in Carolina.
Yeah.
There's fights at every stadium. Chiefs and Raiders fans, that we had a video that hit 3.5 million views last year of Chiefs and Raiders fans fighting in the stands. I mean, this is ongoing in every stadium.
Yeah.
So I'm so tired of the stigma. It's got to go away at some point. Like, is there bad fans? Yeah, bro. When you pack 60,000 people into a stadium and they're drinking all day, you're going to get a couple bad seats.
Sure.
That's real talk. That's every stadium in the league.
Right.
You want to end it? Stop the alcohol sales. You ain't going to do that because it's going in your pocket. So I'm tired of hearing about it. Tired of
But
it.
as somebody who sits 10 rows from the top of that stadium and has since the day it opened, if you come in wearing the other team's colors, you may get booed, but nobody's going to say anything to you or do anything to you unless you start talking shit.
I'm sure it'll be fun banter. Like, there'll be shit talking back and forth, but until it goes...
It goes, yeah, if it
until
goes
it's
south.
provoked,
Yeah.
until anything major is provoked, it's just going to be that, just shit talking back and forth.
I've been to umpteen Rangers games in Wells Fargo. Never happened to me.
Yeah.
So
There you go. So
And I've been to games at other stadiums and it
Yeah.
hasn't happened to me. So, I mean, it just depends, you know?
TTP Ballin says, thought I heard Breland is playing, so I guess we'll see.
Okay. And, I mean, they're still in a tough situation. But I think I don't want to use the word roll, but I think this is another double-digit win for the Eagles.
This is ripe for a roll job.
I just believe in this football team so much. I believe in 11 so much. I believe that this is a top 5 defense in the league, and there's no question in that. The best D tackle in football, and a guy who I'm disappointed in Tampa is Gerald McCoy, honestly. You know, a guy who should be that top 5 D tackle in football has underperformed in that entire defense that I've crowned in Tampa, a team that I thought that was going to take the next step. I don't know who they are right now.
Right.
So, and I look at the Eagles.
Hard knocks curse.
Yeah, but the Eagles are who we thought this defense should be, this front seven for the last 3 years, has finally became that defense. You look at great defense. What do? They travel well. This team went to Carolina and beat up on them. I mean, they could not run the football. This defensive line these tackles were 3 yards in the backfield every single running play. I mean, that's dominant. And with this much rest, now guys are going to get healthier. The whole league's on notice. And I talked about this, I think, after 2 weeks, that I thought this league was on notice. And I'll continue to say it, that this seems for real.
Well,
and I don't want to say, Noah was talking Super Bowl or bust earlier, and that's just nonsense. But can this be an NFC Championship caliber team? Yes, they are.
Absolutely.
Yes, they are. Now, I'm not going to go talk. I had fun running down the street talking broad the other night after winning Carolina. But that's just having fun with it.
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, after
Shut up, Sean.
After the Birds win on Thursday night, obviously you come into Sunday and your immediate thought is, okay, well, so who's the next opponent? So the Birds or the Skins are playing Sunday against the 49ers at home. So, I'm paying real close attention to this game. And I'm looking at this game and I'm like, okay, so the 49ers are not a good football team. They yanked their starting quarterback at halftime and go to their backup. And they gave Washington everything they could handle. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Washington and I'm picking this thing apart. And my immediate thought on this is you could see a repeat Monday night of what we saw 2 weeks ago with the Cardinals, where you're going to have a steady diet in the first half of Alshon, because I think this is Alshon's breakout game. I think you're going to have a steady diet of Alshon, Nelson on the outside, and then when they start rolling the coverage to the outside, you're going to have Ertz running up the seam all day long. Nice big lead gets built up, and then in the second half, you just grind. And there's LeGarrette, and LeGarrette, and LeGarrette, and you'll sprinkle in a little Clement and a little Barner, and then there's some more LeGarrette and some more LeGarrette. And they could wind up winning this game 38-7, 38-14.
And you know what? And I heard some guys talking about this, that they don't like what Carson did when he lowered the shoulder on the D-back on Thursday night, right? But I want to say why I do love it. And listen, the injury rate, the one thing Chip Kelly ever said right was injury rate's 100% in this league. But I want to talk about how it translates. And I want to talk about locker room talk. Like we talk about, everybody always thinks everything's Madden and doesn't put in the personal factor, the personal feel. And if I'm an O-lineman, I'm a wide out, I'm in the defensive room and whatever, and I'm watching tape, and I see this guy, and on the field, see this guy lower his shoulder like a running back, that's a guy I'm going to fight for a little bit more. That's a guy I'm going to work a little harder for. And we talk about transcending an organization and the trickle-down effect of things. That one play to me means so much more than any play that kid's done, just because how I think it goes through the locker room. And now that leader, he's more and more of a leader. And it just, I don't know. It's just, I think football guys are tough guys. And when you see quarterbacks sliding or falling down and not fighting for the extra stuff.
Just don't do it every game.
Yeah.
Well, go back to, who we just played, Cam Newton, not jumping on that fumble.
Yep.
I mean, it's the difference. And then even real quick to tie it back to Kyrie, I mean, you're talking about a scorer versus a leader. You know what I mean? That's a leader versus just a guy who's out to get mine.
Right.
Have you seen a young quarterback, too, handle a line of scrimmage better than this kid this quickly? In a West Coast offense where his own coach said it's a 5-year system to learn and to master. And this kid's had the right from day one, the audible at the line and change plays. And he puts in the work. And he's special, man. And it feels so good to say that we had that franchise guy, that he's just that good.
There's literally 2 holes in this kid's game right now. Number 1 is consistency on the deep ball, and number 2 is he's got to get the ball out faster. And if those are the only 2 holes that a second-year quarterback has, I will take it every day of the week.
And what would you say from year 1 to year 2 you were looking for? The interception ratio to go down, right? And being more, not conservative with the ball, but better decisions. And what you see this year is that interception touchdown rate is really good.
Yeah.
And that's the difference of the year right now. He's not turning the football over. He's making smart reads. He's learning his offense more and more and more. But what it shows you is, and credit to Howie Roseman, learning from past mistakes in this organization, and Doug learned the same thing from the Donovan years, is that you can't put it all on a kid. And if you can surround him with talent quicker, it's going to make that adjustment for him happen quicker. And that's what you're seeing this year. And the same thing in LA with Goff. You're seeing the same type of thing because you're surrounding him with talent early on, and the pressure subsides a lot.
Well, and to the point you just made, you're talking about the touchdown to interception ratio. He's sitting 13-3 right now. 2 out of his 3 interceptions came on balls that are tipped. And the third one took a tremendous, absolutely ridiculous play by the Giants defensive back to keep his feet in bounds while he was catching the ball. So he could just as easily be 13-0 right now. Which, anybody going to complain about that? I don't think so.
Well, he's been great, but I wouldn't necessarily look at that as the be-all, end-all, because remember, Nick Foles 27-2. So it's not, you can say that is the hallmark of elite quarterbacks, because it's been done by ones who clearly are not. But it's still positive for sure.
Yeah, it's just eyes with him. It's always been eyes. It's never to me been strictly numbers. It's just the things he can do. And we talk about his first preseason game and on the other hash mark and rolling out and throwing a seed to the sidelines, and you're like, whoa, hey Aaron, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of ball it was, and just everything he does. He's just special. But you see, and to your point, Alshon having a breakout game on Monday night, I could see that happening as well, because you see that chemistry growing more and more and more. But this is what happens when you bring in a legit number 1, is the cover starts to get rolled. And now guys are left one-on-one like Ertz, like Aguilar, like Torrey, because somebody's going to get doubled, and it's going to be Alshon. Instead of no Alshon, well, who are you doubling now? Mm-hmm. So, that's how much he matters, even if the numbers aren't there.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
no.
I mean, I think we can all agree on that.
Well,
his presence, knowing that we have to game plan for this guy, you can't game plan for everybody.
Right.
Teams try to, but you're going to miss somebody.
You could almost take a look at Ertz's numbers and production this year and thank Alshon and the addition of Torrey Smith, whether he's catching the ball or not, at least stretching the field, because Ertz, for the most part, has been wide open in the middle of the field all year.
No question. I got a bunch of comments here
Shoot him.
from these guys. We got Todd Womack says, I hate the polls of who's the worst fan base, because every passionate fan base talks shit to one another.
Yep.
I completely agree.
Yes, sir.
But he follows that up by then saying, but I want another Monday Night Massacre.
Yeah, me too.
All right. And then Mr. Poogs, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Eagles are going far. Seems like all of our guys are stepping up and outplaying expectations. TTB says, I don't see us letting Kirk and the Redskins score more than 17 on us at home. I even give them a field goal and a touchdown in garbage time. We win 30-17. Mr. Poog says, I would love to see Mac Hollins get more snaps. All he does is catch everything thrown his way. Todd Womack says, player of the game, Alshon. TTP says, player of the game, Wentz. He's going to light that defense up. Mr. Poogs, how nice is it to know that you have Wentz for the next decade? And TTP Ballin says that he still gets excited and balls sail on him early. And I said not nearly as bad as last year. And he says, no, definitely not. He's had a good 4 or 5 in the first few drives of the game, though. Fair point.
Yeah, no, he's right. And it's just like a little excitement because I think he's jazzed, right? But we do want your predictions, score of the game, and player of the game as well.
Going back to the Redskins game this past week.
Right.
I think Jay Gruden kind of screwed that game up himself. If they drop back and throw the ball, they blow out every play. They blow out the 49ers.
They should have, yeah.
But he kept trying to run the ball, and in turn made that game a lot closer than it should have been. Now, obviously, you're not going to do that this week.
Right.
But in terms of watching and what we're going to get, I think Jay, I don't know what he was thinking, but if you drop back and throw that ball, because they were picking him apart all over. Kirk was throwing all over the field.
Right.
And
I know you can't compare one week to the next in an apples-to-apples fashion, but when I look at the Birds over the last couple weeks, and I say, okay, Carson Palmer, Cam Newton, Kirk Cousins. Cousins is clearly the number 3 on that list for me. And then I look at, Larry Fitzgerald, Kelvin Benjamin, Terrell Pryor. Come on. I'm just looking at this as this is the game they should win because I see the offensive pieces that are out there for the Redskins, and to me, it's not a matter of are the Eagles going to outscore the Redskins because I think they are. It's just a matter of how many points are they going to allow, and I mean they only gave up 17 in Week 1 on the road at Washington. And one of them was a picked off interception return. Right. So the defense essentially gave up 10 points. I think Washington's lucky if they get 10 in Philly.
That game to me, though, for the Redskins last week, and I agree with you, they really didn't overwhelm a team that they really should have beaten the crap out of. I think they were looking to this game. I think that was a definition of a trap game against a bad team at home. You're looking forward to this Eagles game. So I don't know how much you can pull from that. I think the one thing – I don't think the Eagles and Chris Thompson, you brought his name up. He scored a touchdown in the Week 1 matchup. They haven't really had opponent running backs that catch out of the backfield that much, other than maybe Kareem Hunt, who also had a long run. I'm curious to see how they defend against that because they haven't really been exposed to a lot of that. And I think
I'm going to counter you, though. Last week, Christian McCaffrey, 10 catches.
Well, true.
56
prior
yards.
to that, yeah.
Right.
But I don't like him personally, so I cross him out.
But that's fine. But, I mean, they've played 6 games, and in those 6 games – they faced Chris Thompson once already.
Yes.
They faced Kareem Hunt. They faced Christian McCaffrey. They faced Andre Ellington, who did absolutely nothing against them. I mean, basically the only team that they played that didn't really have a back that caught balls out of the backfield was San Diego. Yeah. So, I'm not discounting your theory because obviously Thompson's going to learn a few things from the last game as well.
Right.
But there used to be a time when running backs catching balls out of the backfield would absolutely destroy the Eagles. And I think that time is done.
Yeah, Sweeps was saying that, you put Palmer and Cam over Kirk. Kirk's better than them, too, in my eyes. A better overall QB. I agree with him on that.
Well, you
Kirk's a gunslinger. Palmer stinks. He flat out stinks. And Cam is the most overrated QB in NFL history, really, in my eyes.
Well,
you said 2 weeks
now,
ago.
Now, do you put Terrell Pryor as a QB over Cam and Dick Carson?
Listen, Terrell might be better than Palmer right now, really. I mean, Arizona might need to make another deal. This guy ain't working out. But no, I mean, it's apples and oranges, really, with these guys. It's who you prefer. Palmer's obviously just off the list completely, but it's just what do you prefer Newton and Kirk-wise? To me, Kirk does more in the pocket and distributes the football better.
Wait, where did Mikey G go? Because I was going to ask him what he thought of Carson Palmer last week.
Well, Mikey G's also the guy that crowned that defense, and I had to come out and say he's going to sling it. I mean, you're going to get a squirrel's going to find a nut once in a while, and I found one. I finally found one. I finally got something right.
I agree with you, though. I think Cousins is the best of those three.
I think so, too. But
I think he's way overrated.
I don't think he's overrated. I mean, look at the other two.
If he was, hold on. If he was
You're
that,
tell me Carson Palmer right now is better than Kirk Cousins?
Not right now, but I'm talking like in the big picture. He's a better overall quarterback. And here's
10 years ago.
I mean, here's where I'm going with this, though. If Kirk Cousins was so goddamn good, why do they keep franchising him instead of just signing him to a contract?
Maybe he doesn't want to be there.
Because it's a shit organization. That's why.
All right,
Daniel Snyder's a jackass.
I got nothing for you on that one.
I just like him better. That's all. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I mean,
that's fine.
It's not a landslide.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a landslide with Palmer right now. It's a landslide there.
Well, just because
he's old. He's old. He's fragile.
He's a robot.
He's not the same guy he used to be. And that line stinks, too, in Arizona. But I look at the same type of impact the Carolina game. I think we flat out stuffed the run again. And that's what I'm looking for from this defense, to continue that. Continue to go out there and say, hey, we don't need you to score nothing. We're going to take care of it on our end. And if they continue that, the DBs, the swaggers there with this defense, I mean, you're getting it done with Jalen Mills and Patrick Robinson. I mean, really, think about that. I mean, Jalen Mills is so confident that it translates for the kid.
Right.
But, I mean, Patrick Robinson, even though Pro Football Focus is out of control, putting him number one, I mean, he should just stop watching football immediately. I think they had Carson Wentz like 8th best QB in their rankings. What are you watching? What are you watching? Like, I think some of the guys that do this are just flat out clueless. And it's like, oh, we just let you do what you want. Just write whatever you want. Like, I used to really follow along deeply with their rankings, and I think they're just getting out of control.
Now you just have to use your own eyes.
Yeah. Spielman says Redskins 34, Eagles 31. The NFC,
Shut up. Sean, shut up. You're killing me with this. Be happy your team got a win Sunday night. Put your tail between your legs and shut up.
Oh, he's guaranteeing a win against Seattle, too, for the Giants. That's how clueless he is right now. I mean, he is he is riding high.
I'm not saying he's right, but
you're not saying he's wrong either?
Seattle doesn't travel well, especially to the East Coast.
They're also coming off a bye.
I'm not a big Seattle
there
guy.
you go.
Now, that defense could hold him in check, but that's what they need week in and week out, dude. I mean, come on. You can't be going throwing guarantees around when your team's 1-5.
Oh, I'm not saying that.
I mean, pump it.
Pootie Tang. Love the name.
Name of the night.
30-23 Eagles. Game MVP. Big Cox. So we have Pootie Tang going for Big Cox. I love it.
It's your boy Fletch.
TTP balling.
Fletch.
Terrell Pryor's pissing me off about to drop him in fantasy. Okay.
I would.
Todd Womack. I think Wentz is getting better with wide receivers on the deep ball, and look how much him and Ertz are connecting. And then he was about the conversation we were talking about with the running backs. He says, absolutely. I remember seeing a team in 3rd and 20, quarterback would dump a pass off to a running back and they'd get a first down. That and the draw play was another one that killed us. Okay? And we don't see that anymore.
And he's saying that in the past that used to happen,
in the past,
yeah. all the time.
But you also, and going back to that, we never had those athletic linebackers like we do right now.
It's bigger than that. Want me to tell you what it is, too? It's bigger than that.
Well, I mean,
you have corners
yes.
for the first time
in
a long time in this franchise that come up and want to hit you. And
Since
the difference.
Lito and Sheldon.
That's the difference
You're right.
here. That's what's different in this whole defense. The front seven's still who they are. They're dominant. But when you have corners that want to come up and hit you in the mouth, that's the game changer in this league. We dealt with Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie and the Olay bullshit, right? And we I love that reference. And we dealt with all these kind of guys. You didn't want to tackle. Nani didn't want to tackle nobody when he came here.
Now that you want to play.
Right. I mean, the list goes on.
He just wanted to go eat McDonald's in the parking lot.
The list goes on, and I think that's the big difference. I think that's a big difference with this football team is corners that want to come up and smack you in the mouth a little bit.
Absolutely.
And the linebackers are flat out hitting. You're right.
Yeah.
There's nobody taking that away. What else you got? Anything over there, Mike?
Yeah, I actually got a couple more. Mr. Poogs, my only concern is our D allows way too many quick throws. Hopefully Darby changes that when he returns. Pootie Tang then comes back and says, which cornerback should they take out of the starting lineup when Darby returns? I think that's simple. I think that's
Robinson.
It's Rasul.
It's Rasul.
Oh yeah,
but I think they wind up getting a bit of a rotation going there. Poog says, tough question. How do you sit Robinson?
He goes to the slot. That's all. Robinson goes to the slot.
Todd Womack, he says, I want Washington to fuck up with Cousins because I truly do respect this game. In other words, screw it up so bad that he leaves.
Yeah, I mean, for Cousins.
And that's where they're going.
You have to know the Niners want him bad.
Oh, yeah, they
bad.
Look, I'm not a Cousins hater. I just don't particularly think he's as great as a lot of other people make him out to be.
Oh, I'm not crowning Kirk Cousins by any stretch. I mean, if anything, he's a genius off the field because he's been able to get flat out paid over the last 2 years.
Well,
so I mean, respect there.
Well, I mean, I'm a Big Ten guy, so and you are too. So you've obviously watched a lot of Cousins, even at Michigan State. It tells you something when you have when you take RG3, and then you come back 2 rounds later and basically take a quarterback that's probably better than him in round 3. Like, what are you saying right now as an organization? You know, and now you're going through it now because you don't want to pay the guy, and he doesn't want to be here because he understands.
Well, to your point,
you let everybody walk
like,
out the door.
They're this close to being the Cleveland Browns when it comes to the quarterback situation. Mm-hmm. And for the life of me, and I know I'm going off topic here, how the hell does this team go back to Deshaun Kaiser this week, take Kevin Hogan all the way down to 3, and Kessler bumps up. Kessler should be the goddamn starting quarterback of that team, and they might win a game or 2.
Because when they rolled the dice, that's what came up. That's what happened.
If I'm Cody Kessler, when my contract is up, I can't get out of that shithole fast enough.
I mean, all of them. Hey, listen, that's what analytics do for you.
And
Sean Spielman was saying what Brown do for you. Well, that's what analytics do for you.
And I would take Cody Kessler as the backup on this team over Nick Foles in a heartbeat.
I mean, the Cleveland Browns pretty much pass on Carson Wentz over analytics. Not because of eyes, over analytics.
Because they're morons.
Okay, if that's the game you want to play.
And they passed on Deshaun Watson, too.
Yeah, if that's the game you want to play.
Todd Womack, 100%, Tom. Glad to see a defense that wants to punch people in the mouth.
It's been a long time.
It has been.
Yeah, and especially in this city.
And it starts with your back-end guys that want to tackle. You can't stop the run consistently in this league if you don't have corners and safeties that want to come up and hit. That's just facts. Your D-line can do so much. Your second level can do so much. But at that third level can come up and make plays and tackle in the open field. That's the thing. It's not about giving up an 8-yard run. Mm-hmm. It's keeping that 8-yard run from a 25 or 30 because of missed tackles. This team tackles really well.
Well, here's a problem, though. There's a lot of people, and I know we're amongst them, the Eagles fans in the room anyway. There's a lot of people that were spoiled for a lot of years with a secondary of Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown, Michael Lewis, and Brian Dawkins.
And even the older heads, when we talk about Troy and Bobby.
I was going to say, and before that, you had it was Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor, Brian Dawkins, and Damon Moore. So, I mean, we had 4 groups of D-backs that would come up and stick you. So we got a little spoiled with that. And there's other teams around the league that don't have that and haven't had it ever. It's a defensive back's job just to make a tackle. Our defensive backs like to stick. We got away from that. Now it's coming back. I like it.
And Vinny Madison said, agreed, Mike, I wouldn't want him as my franchise QB. Oh, I agree there. I don't he's not a top 5, top 8 guy to me. I wouldn't go there with Kirk Cousins, as my franchise guy. I'm just saying I think he's better than the other 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's all my thing was.
I mean, he's going to be someone's franchise guy just because there's only so many spots to go around.
Wiggins is lighting the lamp up right now,
like
by the way.
Jets.
Andrew Wiggins is lighting lamps.
Or he's the next Giant.
Sean Spielman.
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks.
Great show, boys. Kick the Rangers and Yankees fan in the head. Got work. Stayed up past my bedtime. Yes, what can Brown do for you?
And this is coming from a Giants fan, by the way.
I didn't even say anything.
No, you did nothing. You did nothing wrong. He's a prop.
I'm trying to be very nice. I'm like, I didn't say anything.
He's a prop. He's a Giant fan, and then now he's at our family dinner table because when we talk Sixers and Phillies and Flyers, now he's back.
Yeah.
Well, I think it goes back with the Eagles too. It goes back to the draft too. I think a lot of people wanted them to go corner because that was such a big deficiency last year. But your pass rush helps your corners out. That's why they went with Barnett, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, you know who we wanted, Greg.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's running from armed robberies.
Was it him?
Reuben Foster was one of them.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what's funny though? It shows you how much they love that guy. When the second he comes back from injury, it's like,
Bowman's
bye, Navarro.
And that's another stud.
Yeah, well, Reuben's the guy we wanted from jump. But guess what? I think Barnett is going to develop into a really good pass rusher.
At least me, and I know you too, we never hated Barnett. You just hated the choice with what fell to you. It wasn't anything against the kid.
No.
It was just Howie Roseman can't draft DNs, and you had the board fall in your favor.
And guess what? Besides Jamal Adams, the best defensive player in this draft was Reuben Foster. That wasn't even a question to me. You know, I mean, Jamal Adams, because he's a safety and he can do so much, and he's an LSU guy, and you can't really go wrong. You know, Jamal Adams was the best defensive player in this draft, and it's proving now that the Jets defense has gone from like, to up here because of Jamal Adams. That's how good of a football player I think he is. Now, same thing with the Niners defense. When Ruben's on the field, that's a good that becomes a really good defense, and they're not that good of a defense. But he's just that good of a football player, and I like him that much. But guess what? It's not about hating Barnett. It's hating that, well, if I'm going to draft a guy in the top 15, doesn't he need to start for me? Yeah. And I think that's more the disconnect that we have from with us the Howie in that decision making process.
I'm okay with the not. I'm more okay with the not starting than you are. Right.
Yeah,
at 15.
that's fair.
But some rotation would be nice.
And he's getting,
you know what I mean. And now he's getting it. Yeah.
And that's learning the system, and it's fair.
Right. And what I was going to say was the reason that I'm not up in arms over this situation is you look at the defensive ends that this team has missed on in the past, and you had guys that couldn't get on the field, or when they were on the field, they were completely absent. I don't see that with Barnett. He's in a rotation, and is he on a quote-unquote pitch count? Yeah, he probably is, and I would like to see that pitch count get higher as the season goes on. He's this close to making a huge play every game, and I think that's the rookie. He needs to get that half a step quicker or make that move a half a second faster, and he's going to start lighting quarterbacks up. And it's going to happen. I mean, it will.
Mike says, can't go wrong with LSU, huh? How did Jamarcus Russell work out? Let me rephrase. I talk about when I talk about
defense.
When I talk about D-backs, you can't go wrong with LSU. Yes. Jamarcus still getting paid, by the way.
Purple drank.
Yeah. Still cleaning up. Jeremy Bewan, I'm just glad Philly sports are looking up again.
Okay.
Are you okay with that one, Mike?
Thanks, genius.
God.
Moving on.
Brutal.
Shots fired.
Mike says Patrick Peterson, he agrees. Yeah. that 3 to 5 year ago, Patrick Peterson.
Leonard Fournette.
No, he's a man. He's looking for contact.
Yeah.
He's a star, isn't he?
How cool was that? You want to talk about like plays that define people? Yeah, come on. You gotta love that.
It's great. That sticks.
Yeah, but then he goes and sprains his ankle.
Well, at least it's only that. That looked a lot worse.
That would take Jordan Reid out for 2 years. Okay, call it what it is.
He would permanently have the injury bubble above his head, just walking in real life.
So do we want to do predictions here?
Yeah, go ahead. Start it off, Mike.
All right, I'm going 38-7 Birds, and my player of the game is Alshon Jeffrey. I'm not wavering on that at all.
Alshon Jeffrey, and what was your score again?
38-7.
38-7. Mm-hmm. Jesus, God.
And it's a late garbage touchdown.
Whoa. Wow.
I think they are coming to play.
Woo.
I'm a little closer. A lot closer.
A little closer.
Okay.
A little bit. I'm going to go 21-17 Birds. And I'm not putting a whole lot of stock into it, but when you hear a guy like LeGarrette Blount come out and say, hey, we have to stay humble. We haven't won anything yet. This is only game 6.
You're bringing leaders, man.
Well, right, but there's a reason that talk comes up during this 10 days it's out.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm not putting a lot of stock into it, but I think that translates maybe to a little closer game, division rival. So I'm going 21-17 Birds, win at home. My player to game we'll go LeGarrette Blount.
All right, Bri.
Here's
Philly Blunt.
I mean, I think the Eagles do win the game, but I think this, it is the NFL, and stupid crap happens all the time. The Giants just won in Denver.
Yep.
It wasn't that stupid. I called it.
So here's the thing. It's still a divisional game, and I don't think the Redskins are any good personally. I'm not going to say that, but again, they do know each other. I think the Eagles come out with a win. I don't think it's going to be a very easy win. I think Chris Thompson has a great game. I just think he's going to – if they're not going to be able to run the ball, and they probably won't, maybe that quick pass, that screen pass is going to be what the Eagles really have to defend. Jordan Reed's probably going to have a toenail problem and miss the game, so let's just take him out of the equation. I don't know. I think the Redskins, the revenge factor's there, I mean, the way they lost that week 1 game with the semi-questionable call at the end. I think the Eagles win. I think it's a close game. I'll also go something like 24-20, but I don't think they run away with it.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards 27-17 Eagles, and my player of the game is Nelson Aguilar. They're depleted in their secondary, so now he's matching up against guys that are deep on the depth chart, right? Yeah. And all Nelson Aguilar has shown is he catches touchdown passes. That's all he does. Nelson just catches touchdowns. And I think he has a monster game, and I think he goes over for 100 this week, and he might even end up with 2.
Well, it's funny how when you slot guys correctly, like how they produce really well. The thing about Aguilar to me is he was always going to be like the Chip Kelly guy because he was his primary pick when he was here. You put him in the slot, he's producing. And you don't ask him to be a number 1, which he's not. Then he gives you what he needs.
Yeah, and not down the road doesn't mean he can't be that guy. You know what I mean? He's still a young player, but you're right. You put him in the slot. The one thing you could always say about Nelson when you went back and watched tape is he can flat out run routes. So you say, okay, now can you finish? Well, now he's finishing, and he's showing you that burst, and he's showing you that no slot corner in this league can cover him. Yeah. And it's just about the chemistry growing and growing and growing with the quarterback.
Maybe that's because he's going up against the number 1 cornerback in football every day in practice.
Wow.
Jesus God.
It's funny when you talk about routes. Who was Cam throwing that last ball to in that game? What route was that?
He might have been on the books because there were some throws that who you throwing
He's awful.
So bad. He's so bad. He's the most overrated quarterback, I swear to God, in NFL history. People below that guy for whatever reason. He had one good season. And it wasn't. I'm not even crowning his ass that year.
Thanks to their defense.
Their defense was flat out loaded, and they let a lot go. And listen, they got weapons around this guy. There's no excuses, man. You use high picks on wideouts. You use high picks on a running back who can catch the football in the backfield. There's no excuse for Cam Newton. Alex Casio, we already know, but he's saying, we'll read it again, Jonathan Allen out for the game, so we had to steamroll them. Listen, I don't believe you have to steamroll a division game. You just got to get out with another win and get to 6-1, and that's a statement in itself.
Well, let me ask you this question.
27-17 fits for me. That'll work. That makes me excited.
Pretty long layoff from last Thursday to Monday night. Mm-hmm. And, the one thing about, I think, the Eagles now is they're not going to sneak up on anybody. They're making the headlines now that maybe they weren't supposed to at the start of the season. Okay. So, from the standpoint of do you think that coming off their biggest win of the season against arguably their first legitimate opponent, frankly, that they smell themselves a little bit? I mean, I think the beginning of the game is going to be telling. If they come out and they play hard, that's going to bode well. But if they come out and they don't really look good, I don't know. It can snowball a little bit.
I don't, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because of the opponent. Because they have a major, major chip on their shoulder because they haven't beaten the Redskins in Philly in like 5 years. And that's like the monkey that they have to get off their back. And their confidence level right now is so high that they want nothing more than to just have Washington come in and have them bitch slap them right back to D.C. And if you go back and you look at the numbers, I know it's a weird stat because it rolls up a bunch of things, but you look at the Eagles' records in primetime divisional home games. Hold on. It makes sense. It's primetime divisional home games when they haven't beaten said opponent in X number of games. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's like 15-1. So I'm looking for the Birds to come out and just be like, look, bang, I'm going to lay it on the table. This is how it is in the division, at least until we play Dallas, and then we'll have to lay it on the table again. But I'm just a firm believer that this is going to be a lopsided affair.
You know what also stops that from happening? Great defense.
Yeah.
Great defense because they come out with an agenda and they don't allow that letdown on the defense side of the football. So that's what I think can also carry that over if there is like a little bit of a letdown or a little more of a smell yourself is what you were saying. More of a smell yourself. I feel like, if this defense is who we think they are, they won't allow it to happen on the defense side of football. And I create some turnovers, put you in good situations, and, give the offense short fields, stuff like that. But I just don't see, like you said, it's the NFL. Week to week, you don't know what you're going to get. Now, layoff, guys rest their bodies up.
Yeah.
And like Mike said, it's a divisional rival. They hate each other. So, I think you get the best fight out of them.
Yeah.
Now, could there be a little smell? Maybe, but I think that's why you have some really good leaders on this football team and some vets that can help you avoid that, like what LeGarrett's saying. I don't think LeGarrett's saying that because of the locker room talk. I think LeGarrett's saying that because of this talk.
Right.
Because of everything out there, more of the fans' excitement and smelling this team more than inside that locker room,
Right,
which can then affect.
But the question comes up somewhere. You know what I mean? So,
but
again, I'm not putting a lot of stock in it, but
right,
it comes up.
Right, but the question that came up was, with Aaron Rodgers' injury, you guys have bumped all the way up to number 2 in the power rankings, number 1 in the NFC. How do you feel about that? And he was just like, whoa, slow your roll.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I'm not saying it's the team.
Right.
So yeah, you're right, Tom. It's outside. It's this. It's the beat writers. It's the national media.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm not putting a lot of stock, but when you start talking it, it's starting to creep up somewhere. So
I'll be honest with you, like, for as much as I'll talk it up on social media, this is the NFL. I hate power rankings. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be a top 4 team to get into the playoffs, and you don't, we've talked about it before on the show where you could be undefeated, but you're only ranked number 10 because you're in a weak conference, you play a bunch of patsies, and you don't score 70 a game. It's the NFL.
Right.
You win your division, you're going to the playoffs. Bottom line.
regardless of what your record is.
Yeah, regardless of what your record is. You win a division, you're going to the playoffs. You want to, you want home field advantage throughout, well, yeah, then you got to step it up and be dominant. But power rankings, like, to me, that's just fluff. Especially at this time of year.
Yeah.
How you can have power rankings before you hit game 8 is just fluff.
They have them before you hit game 1. That's what they do because
It's
they got to
unbelievable.
have you look. But remember, the Seahawks were 7-9 one year, won their division, so it doesn't. It's irrelevant. This is what you have to work with.
Yeah.
Justin Turner just homered 3-2. 3-2 Cubs right now.
So that's 5 runs and 5 solo homers.
5 solo.
A lot of small ball happening, right?
Yeah.
He went off of Wade Davis.
The ginger beard.
Davis is in top 8. It looks like Arrieta threw well, which could be.
Yeah, he gave up a solo to Bellinger, and that's it.
Struck out 9 and 6 in about 6.
Must have been a good cycle for him.
And guess what? Probably his last start.
Last outing as a Cub.
In a Cubs uniform. So went out well. Pitched a good game, keep him in it. We'll see if Wade Davis can close it down. They're going to use him for 6 outs. Turner already went deep off him, so 1-run game. Wonder if the Dodgers close it out tonight. You guys want to jump in some baseball?
Some
now?
MLB. Yeah.
Couldn't be a better segue.
So you have the one series. We'll go ALCS first, and now it was a 2-0 Astros lead, and all of a sudden shifted to 3-2 Yankees lead. How do you guys see the series playing? It's getting late. Panning out, and who's going on the World
I'll
Series?
turn my attention to Brian. Brian, who's pitching Game 6? Would that be one Mr. Verlander?
Yeah.
At home?
Yeah.
Guess what? This is going 7.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. You know what's funny? What's going on with the Yankees right now just reminds me so much of 1996. And for the Yankees to be like the evil empire and everything, they've been kind of a feel-good story, which is kind of hard to do as the Yankees.
It is hard to do.
It's really hard to do with the Yankees, but they have likable players. But you go back to those teams that were – the 96 team was a lot of young kids.
Right.
It wasn't until 98 and 99 that the money started flowing.
These don't have likable fans.
Most of them, you're probably right.
Well, Girardi was getting fired as of a week ago. I mean, they were crushing.
That's still on the table.
I know, which is amazing. Which is flat out amazing to me.
But if you look at the team the way it's constructed right now, like their 3 highest paid position players are guys that are irrelevant, like Ellsbury and Headley and Matt Holliday. So these are kids that are doing this. That's why it reminds me so much of 1996. So I think the Yankees find a way to win the series. We'll talk about the World Series when we get there, and it's a hell of a story.
No, it is. It definitely is. It definitely is. It's not spending a shit ton of money to win it. It's a different type of Yankees team where it's
very
homegrown.
much so. Yeah.
It's homegrown talent, and that's
well,
new.
Give us your World Series and then give us your winner.
I just have a feeling. I'm trying not to be a homer here. I have a feeling the Yankees find a way to win this thing. Because it feels like 96 to me.
Okay.
So I think the Yankees probably against the Dodgers. I think the Yankees win that series, and it probably takes all 7 because the Dodgers are the better team. But I think the Yankees find a way to scratch and claw, and I mean they've been working at bats just crazy in the playoffs. I mean they've really done. You look at the Brett Gardner at bat in Cleveland as a prime example. The Verlander's a problem, and I agree with that. I think But Houston's not hitting either. I mean, they have no runs, like very few runs. The Yankees haven't gotten blown out by anybody. I mean, they've been 1-run games in this series when they've lost. Even Cleveland, I mean, other than the 4-0 game, Game 2 they should have won and they didn't. They just blew it. So I don't know. It might be start spreading the news.
Hey, the mentally tough is what I look at the Yankees. Down in series, and battling back, and that translates, man. That translates, going on to the next round or getting through this one. Greg, who do you got win the ALCS?
I'm going to go Astros. I mean, I just think it's going to be a home team. It's gone chalk as so far, and I think it's going to stay that way. Verlander comes back Game 6. And, I mean, let's be honest, Game 7, anything can happen.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? I'm just not going to say I want to root for the Yankees because I'm always going to root for anybody but the Yankees.
It's fair.
So,
the right way.
But I also like the story also of Houston. The young pups. Correa is an absolute stud. Altuve's a stud. But to your point, they're not hitting right now.
Not at all.
Altuve's not the same guy he is on the road that he is at home. And Correa comes up in a couple big spots. Bases loaded, no outs, strikes out. Bases loaded, 2 outs, pops up to the infield. Like, those are big spots that you're the guy that you have to produce in those situations.
Yeah, one team's getting the timely hits and the others aren't.
And even the one yesterday, it was bases loaded, no outs. All you have to do is put the ball in play other than a corner spot. You get a run, and he strikes out. Now, Gurriel saves them with the double.
Right.
But, I mean, that was a big spot in a big inning that they ultimately lost the game anyway. So, but I'm going to go Astros 7 games.
And I'm assuming Dodgers.
Oh, I just thought we'd do it. Okay.
Take it all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, Dodgers. I think if it's Yankees-Cubs, I might not watch a game. And coming from...
That's a flat-out lie because you're a baseball junkie.
Yeah, coming from a degenerate, I don't know if that's ever really going to happen. But, yeah, I'm going to go Astros, Dodgers, and then, same thing, Dodgers. I'm going to go Dodgers in 6 for that one over the Astros in the World Series.
All right.
Because I think when it comes down to it, Kershaw's going to pitch every game if they need to.
Okay. I think Verlander wins tomorrow night, but I do think the Yankees steal Game 7 on the road. I think the Cubs steal one tonight, but the Dodgers finish them out Game 5. So you have the infamous Dodgers-Yankees World Series. But I got to be honest with you, I don't think the Yankees stand a chance. I mean, you look at this Dodgers team, they had a run during this season of absolute historic proportion, and then they got bored. And they lost 13 out of 15, and then all of a sudden, they realized, oh, hey, wait a minute. There's Colorado, and there's Arizona, and boom, they flipped the switch, and they were dominant again.
Yeah, when you have 2 studs at the top of your rotation, 2 horses, it makes it easy to turn it on a little bit more.
Yeah. Sure. And to that point though, you got the studs at the top of your rotation, and they also have starters coming out of their bullpen that are pitching way better in relief than I've seen starters do in the postseason in a long time.
Max Scherzer,
for
example.
Well, yeah, there you go.
See, but the Dodgers are like the Capitals in hockey. They're always supposed to do something, and they actually don't ever do something. So
we'll see.
It might be a show-me series.
I think this is the year. We'll see.
Rob says, does Todd Frazier equal Scott Brocious?
Maybe.
I don't know how that one home run left the building the other night. I have no idea.
Because Yankee Stadium's a goddamn bandbox.
That's what happens when you play in a little league field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then things go out. Listen, I'm going to stick with it. I said before the series, I'm not going to run and hide from it. I'm going to go Astros. I think they get it done in 7, and I'm just assuming the bats are going to come alive at some point. How long can you keep them dead for? It's 3-2 lead. They haven't hit.
No.
And I'm thinking they go home and they start hitting a little bit.
See, now here's why that surprises me about you though, because I know as a baseball guy, you do believe in the jinx, in the superstition, and stuff like that. So, was it 3 years ago, I believe, there was an SI cover that came out that said introducing the 2017 World Series champion Houston Astros. And
really?
It talked about their rebuilding process and said that 2017 was their target year. I think that just jinxed it right there.
Could. The cover, or get them over the top.
Now, granted, it's the SI cover jinx, but it happened 2-3 years ago.
Which is hysterical. I didn't even know that. I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was a big article in SI about how they were rebuilding and using their own farm system and trade chips and the whole deal. And There was actually an article not too long ago in Baseball Digest, maybe, talking about how the Phillies were essentially doing the same type of thing with their farm system, and that the Phillies may only be 2 years away based on what they're seeing out of the Astros now. So, we'll see.
I like the Astros. Like I said, I think they somehow find a way to win this series. And then I look on the other side. To me, that series is over. When you can throw Kershaw and Darvish at them, I just don't see the Cubs getting over that or beating both of them. I mean, all they got to do is win one. Crazy shit happens in this league. You know, they got to get through tonight, obviously, first. But I just don't see them winning 4 straight against that baseball team, especially having to go back to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
And I think the Dodgers close that out.
Didn't Rich Hill go like 12-1 this year?
Yeah,
and he's like their number 3 starter.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay.
So I'll go to the next.
I'm good.
I'll go to the next step, and I'll talk about your jinx. And man, I don't know. I think the Dodgers win it all, and I hate to say it. You know, my heart wants to say Astros because I like the kids, and I like teams that flat out hit, and their lineup's murderers row to me. And if they go in that 7-game series against the Dodgers and they hit, then they're going to win it because nobody's going to out-hit them. That's just my feel on the Astros. But the Dodgers turned it on, like Mike was saying earlier. And to go in and beat up the Cubs right now is impressive to me.
Yeah.
Really impressive. That's a damn good baseball team. And I just think they got it going on right now. And if it is Yankees, Dodgers, that's going to be a great series, and it's going to be great ratings for baseball.
Yeah, baseball's waiting for it. So
They need the Dodgers in this. Baseball needs that market, that West Coast
LA,
market in the World Series. They're going. I don't know how many games it's going to take them. I can see the Cubs battling back and it maybe going 6, and it ends there where the Cubs win 2 in a row, and then, the P is O, and here we go. And the somebody shoves something up the goat's ass, and here they come again. I don't know, but something tells me the Dodgers win it all. It's been a long time. It's been a little bit of a drought for them. And I think they get over. I think they get over it a little hump.
So if the Dodgers win, does Chase pull a David Ross and go out on top with the ring?
I think he does.
Oh, yeah.
I think he does.
You kind of have to, right?
He's I mean, and I hate to say this about him, but he's clueless right now at the plate. Yeah. He's not only slow, but he's got to guess. So when you're slow to the ball and you're guessing, and then you guess wrong,
gets ugly quick.
That's a problem.
The only reason he's still in that lineup right now is leadership. That's it.
Sure.
Because bottom line, as much as I love Chase, Logan Forsythe should be playing second base.
And remember, the Dodgers are doing this without Seager, too.
That's the impressive thing to me, is they're getting ready to boat race the Cubs, and Corey Seager is on the IR. He's not even on the roster.
3 minutes, boys. So.
Does Charlie Culberson turn Corey Seager into the next Wally Pipp?
I'll take Seager then.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, let's go.
Like, Freddie, love you. JP, gotta go. I'll take Seager in a heartbeat.
In a second. But it should be fun, you know.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, the ALCS should be fun and should go 7, and that's great for baseball if it does.
The one good thing about having L.A. and that market in the proverbial World Series is the World Series is going to be on a normal time.
Right.
It's not – I mean, well, it's probably going to still be at 9 o'clock, but it's not going to be like you're not going to get any of these early games.
There's 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
There's 5.
Well, I mean, but to your point, though, talking about the LCS – Major League Baseball couldn't have dialed this up any better.
That's perfect.
You have New York, Houston, Chicago, and Los Angeles.
Big markets.
Four out of the 5 largest television markets in the country.
Yeah. Huge markets. All right, boys. So, again, we talk Sixers Open the show. There's excitement back in the city. They look good tonight. They look tough tonight, against a really good basketball team in their home opener. So it's something to build off of and excitement. I think we all essentially had them as a playoff team. I know Mike was a little bit, outside of that 8 seed.
Not this Mike. Mikey G.
But he felt progress too, and I think everybody agrees that the progress is here, and the process has been trusted, and now you're starting to see it with all the talent on the court. Mm-hmm. So exciting. We think Eagles are going to get a dub. Everybody's agreement there. Little Monday Night Massacre this Mike has going on. So
it's a massacre for him.
I got a double-digit win. Greg and Brian got a little tighter.
All I got to say is I'm off Monday and Tuesday. That's all I'm going to say.
How early are you going down?
Gates open for the parking lots at 1:15. I'll be there at 1:14 and 59 seconds.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
That's so insane. It's still insane to me that
But see,
they
here,
opened so early.
but
But
here-
I mean, I get it. I
here-
8 o'clock Penn State games. We're in the parking lot at 7:30.
here's a great thing about
having breakfast.
about the Monday night games, though, is we'll get there and, we'll just pull out a couple camping chairs. We'll throw the pop-up up. And it's not like we're like going hardcore.
Getting loaded up, yeah.
But we'll just sit there and literally just bullshitting with the boys for 3-4 hours while you're sipping on a few brews. Then come 5:30, all of a sudden it starts to turn into a madhouse. And then, you got to get the grill out, get a little grub going. Everybody starts getting lubed up. And then it's go time.
Then it's game time.
Yeah.
So, fun show, boys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Brian, Mike, for jumping on with us.
Thanks, boys.
We have to thank Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com, soaps-LLC, soaps-.com, scanzanosports.com, BMW of Atlantic City, Tom Renone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Mwakovich, Brian Attard, Mikey G, Rob Poe on the 1s and 2s. What, Galetta?
You got it right, so you give yourself no
I
credit.
do it when I get tired.
You're a horrible Italian.
I'm a fucking fraud. I'm a forgave. For all the best in the business, no notes, a2drare.com. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week. This week, what we got up? We got Agree, Disagree Sunday night.
Yeah.
We'll be pre-gaming the Eagles Monday, so more Eagles talk. It's what we do. See you.
Go Birds!